Funny talk. That's it. That's the theme song. Fuck you.
Come on. Oh, there we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Funny Talk. Is that? Yeah, Funny Talk, episode 8. My name is Coconut Buyer. That's my mother's name, maiden name. My parents are divorced.
I didn't know that.
That's true.
Her maiden name before she married.
Before she married my father, Coconut Seller.
Do you think it was based on their jobs in the old days?
Yeah, probably. So they're probably always at like odds of each other.
Now
they're
friends.
They're friends with each other. One was buying,
Buyers
one
and
was selling.
sellers, they're never at odds.
Well, I don't know. They
Maybe
both have different.
Was it an
philosophies.
arranged marriage, perhaps?
It could have been. Like, I'll buy your daughter.
Just the whole coconut
So-
monopoly.
Yeah,
In the olden days, if you sold someone a certain number of coconuts, you were legally married.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably what
Is
happened.
that true?
I mean, it was the law.
I feel like that's like island law. What's island law? Is that like maritime law?
No, it's the opposite.
When I first met you, I thought your name was Coconut Butter. Remember?
Right.
And so now I feel bad because you must have been thinking like, what kind of woman do you think my mother is?
You probably thought like my channel was like a weird like masturbation thing. Just videos of like women in like certain films.
Yeah, like I knew you from
Coconut
class.
butter films.
Right. It's on Daily
Coconut Butter? Well, I'm not surprised.
I don't want to go on that website. And then you put it in your bookmarks for later.
So are you all telling me you use coconut butter to masturbate?
What?
No, me neither.
I use regular butter.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anything around the house will do the trick.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to be creative.
Gross.
All of this is getting cut out.
Okay.
Good night.
And good morning.
And good morning. So here we are, back for our 8th episode. We're going to be talking about. Let me just turn my page real quickly.
May I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Doug, episode 1.8. Doug gets his ears lowered.
What is
And
1.8 business?
And for the record, there are other people here as well. We have Yuri the Canadian.
Oh, fuck!
Let's
Let's redo this.
No. This is great stuff.
This is garbage.
Introduce.
Introduce me. Coconut Butter.
To my right, we have...
Yuri the Canadian.
That is also your maiden name.
Yes.
Your mother's maiden name.
My mother's name was...
But you just took it because you
Yuri
like it
Canadian.
better, because your father's last name is a doozy.
It's a doozy.
It's French.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a doozy. To my immediate left is...
Lauren.
I don't know. Try again.
No, Laura the intern. But if you turn that into a wamba, which is a word combo, it's Lauren.
It's true.
There's no
wamba?
official word for wombo.
Wombo.
Yeah.
What is it?
Wouldn't it be Lauren? Like
No, it's
intern?
Lauren.
Lauren. I'll take your word for
My parents' last name was In.
it. Okay. And then is it hyphenated?
Yeah. of course.
Intern. Okay. And this guy, what's his name?
Cam the intern.
Cameron.
Where, yeah.
Cam the
there you
intern.
go.
Your
Cool.
parents stayed together, so that's your actual name.
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome.
There's something I just wanted to get clear. What do I call you? I know I've called
Just
you...
call me Richard. Who gives a
Richard?
shit?
Okay, just...
It's the it's
Oh, your
branding.
name's Richard?
Yeah, my name's Riff. Whatever. It's branding.
Not Rick?
Don't call me like coconut butter. That's fucking weird. If you just
Coconut
call me
butter?
by, like, and
We've
we're in
done that.
person.
We've done that in the podcast before.
Have
Refer to
you?
as
You've
coconut
called me
butter.
coconut?
Yeah, we always do.
Really?
Hey,
Really?
That's,
That's fucking weird and personal. Like,
It
I don't
is
like
weird,
that.
Or Co?
I just do that for the audience's sake, and also I don't want too much of my information leaked
That's
online.
what I thought. I thought it was a commandment.
Well, whatever. My face is online. I'm pretty sure my last name's in a couple videos. Like, if you want to know about me, you can.
Okay, let's get to know you now a bit.
No, please. Like,
Okay.
tell me. Okay.
Doug.
Get.
Oh, Doug.
His.
Ears lowered.
Ears lowered.
That's the first episode of.
Well,
episode
we are missing
8.
some other moments, such as Doug News and stuff like that.
Oh,
Cam's
still-
so much better at your podcast.
you actually are. Like, I
I'm on the
haven't
ball.
thought about this.
Mhm.
He has the agenda.
Well, it's been a while.
It's
It's
been
been
a
a while.
Yeah,
So
it's
Doug,
been a
cool.
long time.
We were originally going to do a Christmas episode,
Oh, we
but that kind of fell through.
Oh, you
'Cause I had
forgot?
that fucking work. Yeah.
Right,
No,
right.
I was really excited about that because Christmas episode was bonkers.
Is it?
I don't want to spoil it because I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
next year.
I was
Okay,
a little
maybe next
disappointed.
Christmas.
I was sitting at home.
Don't look it up. Don't look
waiting,
it up.
Okay.
but you never contacted me, so
It's bonkers. This is what one of you guys would say as a joke, and then I'll be like, "Yep, that's right."
Is there a Doug Hanukkah episode?
There's
Because we
not.
do have a resident Jewish lady on our
Lauren.
squad. Lauren.
Lauren.
Are there any? I don't think there are any Jews on Doug.
There's
though.
no need. I think you're thinking of Rugrats.
No, Dink is Jewish, 100%.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that last name Jewish?
No.
Or did he change it for
It's
show?
not really-
No. There's that thing. I think Dink has a small penis.
Like all Jews.
No,
Oh.
like Jews
they
have
their
big
penises
penises.
cut. They have their
Oh.
penises cut.
But
Oh.
the
Well, they don't have their
stereotype.
penises cut. They have their foreskin cut.
No, they
Yeah.
have their
Just chopped off the
penises
head.
chopped off. No, their
Yeah.
whole penis is chopped off.
So Dink's Jewish. Okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Let's
it's good to
move
be
on.
back.
It's good to be back. Back in black. Hit the sack. Good to know.
Doug News.
Bad feet. Doug News.
Doug Mays.
Doug News. So when I looked up Doug News this week / today, which is for those who don't remember, me typing in Doug on Google News.
Yes.
It was not much. It was a lot of kind of like boring stuff.
It was
like,
January.
yeah, like
News-
there's
news
one
is
that was
slow.
like it was about a like retired what was he? Like a kayaker or something, or like a professional sports like rower. That's what it was. A rower, and he's like life after rowing. And I was like, okay, that's boring. But I did find one thing.
I'm curious.
Life after rowing.
Yeah, I want to know.
Changed
Is there a
my
life
life.
after rowing?
Doug
Does he like row in his like chair? He like mimes the rowing and
Yeah,
he's
that's
like,
what I said. I
What
wish
is
there was
wheelchair?
water.
Yeah. Oh, but no, maybe he is in a wheelchair, dude. If he was in a wheelchair, he'd be like, man, this is back like the old stuff.
Permanent
again."
rowing. Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't. I don't think I had a problem with that.
Rowers hate using their legs.
Just put him in a
That's
pool,
true.
and
That's why they row.
put him the shallow end of the pool, and he's back to normal.
Done.
Excellent.
Done. Dead.
But I did find something I thought was interesting. So Doug Lombardo, I can't really read my writing, but I think that's his name. Who's the head of HBO? Took the blame
I read about this.
for the quality of True Detective season 2.
Right.
Because he thought he said that he took the blame because he felt he gave too short of a deadline to Nick Pizzolatto.
That's so nice.
That is nice.
That's how you say his name.
That makes a lot of
I think that's
sense.
how you say it. But
I don't know.
I thought like people kind of shit on season 2.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was as good as season 1, but I didn't think it was the worst piece of garbage ever. Like it still had some pretty good moments.
I think people just really. I haven't seen any True Detective, but I think people just really hate on it just because like the first one was so good and their expectations
I think
were so high.
They're both good for very different reasons, and I don't think Doug should, feel so guilty about it because I think he should hire me someday. I don't want to be nice to himself. Or something bad. Take it easy, Doug.
Hey,
Take it
Doug.
easy, Doug.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool that he's cool that he like took the blame for. He's like, you know what, I gave him a deadline. That's very reasonable, and that's probably
But this, to be fair, the second season I think started over a year after the first season ended. So
yeah, but like he took he probably had more planning time to develop the first season.
Yeah,
True. It's like when
second
a band releases their first album and it's really really good.
Yeah, and then they
because you
release
have your
another
whole
one.
life before that to prepare for it.
Right, and they
And
probably
the
did
second one, we got
shows
a couple
forever.
months. Yeah, exactly.
And then the next one is like shit.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But sometimes
Sophomore slump.
True Detective doesn't have like a writer's room. It's all Nick. What's his name? He
Nick
writes it all
Offerman.
by himself.
Mhm.
Nick Offerman writes
Yeah.
True Detective all by himself.
Yeah.
while
Nick-
he was
Nick
working on the
Carter.
last season of Parks and Rec, what a guy!
Which incidentally had a terrible first season.
It did.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't watched it because
Mm.
the first season was so bad.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
And I think I watched all the first
gave it a
season.
It really
and
picks
was
up
so
after
bad.
the second season when what's his
They
name?
got rid of
Adam
that-
Scott.
died.
Adam Scott
Adam
and
Scott.
yeah, and they get rid
Adam
of
Scott
And Harris Whittles gets hired on.
yeah.
Harris Whittles. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Okay.
Do you have Doug news? Anyone else? Doug news?
I do.
Yeah, Yuri.
I recently, I'm considering, this is hard for me. I'm
He's
considering,
crying.
yeah,
Are
I'm
you
crying.
quitting the show?
I'm considering leaving after season 1.
Really? Wait, actually?
Possibly.
Wait,
What,
actually?
this is how you tell us?
Well, yeah, well, it's
Yuri,
Doug News.
Actually, well, actually.
Okay,
Yuri,
here's the thing.
come on.
The other day I was,
Why would you
I
tell
was-
me? Why would you not tell me this before you started recording?
Richard's crying.
You're like you're a part of the
Wait,
original
why? No,
too.
no. Say your. What's your
okay,
reasoning?
so,
Why does this take up so much of your time?
well, when we, okay, so,
Come on.
when the other day I was
ouch.
watching,
Dramatic. I'm crying.
I was watching some Doug the other day,
Yeah.
and it's such a, okay, so I have to spend like an hour to find like a good copy of the show. And
hour?
yeah,
Yuri.
There's a web or
Yuri, just
buy it. We all buy it. Yeah, we all buy it.
Exactly. And it takes me a whole hour to find a good copy to buy, and then I finally, after all that trouble, I watch it, and it's always the same thing. Fucking Doug, you know, and it's fucking Doug, and I don't. It's not a payoff. this is a good payoff.
Maybe it becomes a payoff.
Is this not a payoff?
This is nice.
Maybe
not
it's like
like
Parks and
hanging
Rec.
out with us.
Like this first
Yeah.
season's kind of
Actually,
Cam,
it
why
does
aren't
get
you
better.
crying?
Oh, sorry. I'm okay.
It does
Cam's
get
not crying.
Yuri. It does
I'm
get
gonna
better.
cut some onions.
But
The
you know
show
what?
does get better.
This is
The first season, it's
we're
kind
doing
of-
episode 8. There's 13 episodes in the season, so maybe if this actually does happen, it'll be a year from now before we actually
Well, we're doing
leave.
2 at a time now, recording wise.
We are.
Yeah, so we'll be done faster. We'll record.
Well,
less.
it's still going to take
Maybe
5
that's a part of the
hours.
problem.
If we,
Well,
if we
maybe
did
that's
a
true.
different
That's true.
children's show, would you want to do it?
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking about that. I was thinking
Oh.
it's Doug. You know, the guy really bothers me a
I'm
lot.
with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Just today I was complaining about how much I hate watching Doug, but I love hanging out with y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
this is cool.
Like watching
So
Doug
it's-
is sucky, but talking about how much we hate Doug as a group
It's
is
cool.
is fun.
The band's
So that's my
freaking
Doug
out.
news.
Oh man,
Is
this
it because you have a drug problem?
This
Well,
is like what
no.
John Lennon.
I'm
left the
clean
Beatles.
these days, actually.
So you're
Can we all just,
clear-headed.
like-
That's why you can't
Wait,
watch
I
Doug.
know. I got out of the fog, and I was like, I got to get
Oh my
all this
God,
shit
this
out
is
of my
horrible.
life.
Oh my god.
Doug, you know,
This
Well,
is sad.
I'm
I'm dying.
Okay.
your eyes are watering.
Reconsider you.
No, just kind of a something maybe we could have talked about outside of recording.
No, this is beautiful. You have to.
This
capture
is
these,
real.
like,
This is
real-ass
real.
moments.
This is like
This is real life.
this is like Howard Stern.
Why don't we leave it up to the 2 people who watch the show
Yeah.
to see what they want? What's their opinion? Yeah. What's your opinion, guys? Do you want us to keep doing the show until the end of the season?
And would you ever want to hear it without Yuri the Canadian?
Would you want? Okay, let's break down the options. Option whatever. Option 1 maybe, or option A.
1A.
Or
Mhm.
option blue. Okay. Option blue. Yuri leaves, and we just continue doing the show. Option 2. Whatever. We'll do numbers now. Who cares? Option 2. We stop at season 1, and then we do something else.
Option who?
Option who? Option who? We I don't know. What could the option 3 be?
You
we
guys-
do a vote
Yeah.
on what we should do next, and just I don't know.
We'll have a board meeting.
We'll have a
and
board
We'll
meeting.
discuss with the other board members that
Uh-huh.
aren't on the show.
Yeah.
Because this is, a highly run organization.
Option
we have
4.
going on here.
Of course,
Option
all of our
4.
parents will weigh in.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are 6 listeners.
Mm.
Option 5.
Don't these stop rhyming.
Stay alive.
Option 5, stay alive.
Option how?
6,
Oh.
Option how? Always be proud
Mm.
of your son and or daughter.
Well, it's hard to.
Option 7. Be good so you can go to heaven. Option 8. This has been great.
Doug News.
Option 9. Oh, okay.
Option 9. Feeling fine. All right. So, what the fuck? Our news is that we might be ending the show. Great.
Let's play the Michelle Branch song
news.
"Goodbye" to you. Do you know it?
Goodbye
Or is that Vanessa Carlton?
to you. Michelle Branch. Who is
Okay.
that? Sing it for me.
No.
Okay. Cam, sing it for me.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking
Yuri?
about.
Goodbye to you.
And how this world is so good, but I myself.
Goodbye
Oh, wait,
to
no.
everything.
Think of the Spice
It's when
Girls
Buffy.
song.
Anyways, this is.
Think of the Spice Girls song. I was really sad when Jerry left. And then...
Jerry Seinfeld left the Spice Girls.
Wait, did I say Seinfeld or Spice Girls?
You said Spice Girls, but I just happened to.
I
know
also
Jerry
thought
Seinfeld
I
left
also
the
thought
Spice
Jerry
Girls.
Seinfeld. That
Oh, I
was
hated
weird.
that last episode where they played that Green Day song. That's really terrible.
That wasn't the last
Yeah.
episode. That was like
That was
the
the second-
the
that was like the
special,
clip
the
show
Seinfeld
episode,
special. Yeah.
Which was better than the actual final episode.
Was
Yeah.
that
Where
was
all the
that
Spice Girls go to jail.
that was probably done
Yes.
though before like Time of Your Life was really like
No, it was
No,
like
it
it was
was
right
right-
when it was released.
Right in the mania of that song.
I think that's
Yeah.
probably why it got so popular.
Yeah.
Maybe. I
It,
don't
it,
know.
it, it worked
so
really
Green
well.
Day's
from one touch.
popularity is owed to Seinfeld essentially.
Oh,
is what I'm
essentially,
saying.
yeah.
I mean, that was a big boost. It couldn't have hurt.
You know what? I'm more happy with like maybe ending the show.
I didn't say it was
Now that I think
a
about it more.
positive, absolute thing.
No,
Well, no, you
Consider
know
it.
what? Like, we don't need to talk about Doug.
You were
It's
the
just
one
like
who
a
always
trivial
said
thing.
that we
Yeah.
would never get to the last episode.
Like, this is
Richard.
more
But I've
fun.
always hoped.
But I like talking about. I think it's funnier to talk about a show that you can hate on. Like,
But we
it's
should-
just funnier to make fun
Yeah.
of stuff. That's what I like about
But
it.
also,
I
we've
agree.
been kind of circling the drain in terms of things to make fun of. Like,
Yeah.
Doug is not a changing character. He's always
Mm-hmm.
going to be the same until the end. We're always going to be the same things. Like, Doug, what are you doing? Why are you afraid to go to the grocery store? You know, it's
That's
just like...
even listening. This
Like,
character
yeah.
is like the one you just did.
Yeah. Doug's an
More
idiot.
accents.
Again.
Or
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Doug, why are you afraid to get your hair cut? Like, this is
Yeah,
what
you
we're talking
fucking
about. Like,
pussy.
oh my god.
Like, oh my god. Well,
Okay, let's dive into that.
actually, we should do comments, because we got a few
Oh
comments.
yeah, we forgot about the comments.
Jesus
cool.
Christ, we're like 50 minutes in. So our first comment was by a month ago. Jesus. No.
It was by Daddy Retro.
Wait, this is weird. Why is that at the bottom? It's the most recent comment. It's dumb. I hate you, YouTube.
No, it's top comments.
But it's so arbitrary. Nobody like voted on these comments.
I don't know.
Whatever. Anyway, so let's go to the bottom. Daddy Retro Man says, "Doesn't Roger develop a crush on Doug's sister eventually? She honestly seems like a better catch anyways. IMO.
What does that mean?
Better
In
than
my
who?
opinion.
In
Better
my
than
opinion.
I know.
I guess like
Patty.
Patty. Because
Doug's sister? Yeah, I would definitely
Doug
take.
can't do anything
Yeah,
with
I would
his
definitely take
sister.
Judy over. Oh well,
Over your
yeah,
own sister.
over your own
over mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mayonnaise.
I think that, and
Mayonnaise.
she's like
well,
Judy's
you know.
cool too.
Also, we're older, and Judy's older, so
Yeah, we're still
Still
way older
quite
than her.
young,
so
yeah.
jail beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, disgusting.
But she's hip.
Cool. I agree. She should go. He should go for. I'm surprised Roger doesn't go for like older women, to be honest, because he seems like such
He's
a
into
rebel.
cougars, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. So, anyways, let's go to the golden Oreos. Says, I really enjoyed your discussion about the sad creation from Doug's mind, known as Quail Man.
Thank you.
I can't remember if you all talked about this, but with Nickelodeon talking about potentially reviving shows, do you think there's a chance for Doug to get this treatment? I mean, if Full House can be brought back in a post 9/11 world, I'm sure Doug has a chance too, right?
Good comment.
That's a good comment. It's a discussion. Well, I think we talked before, like Nickelodeon's like reviving all their shows. They're bringing back Hey Arnold for like a special and a bunch of other stuff. And I don't think Doug is going to be getting this treatment because Doug is technically, I don't know.
We talked about how he's owned by Disney now, right? And how he's
I
going to
don't
join
know.
the Avengers.
Right, but I don't know if he's actually owned by Disney. Because it's like very complicated. I bet there's like a bunch of like legal red tape why this will never happen. Why Doug revival will never happen. But like basically he
All this
moved.
legal red tape on Doug of all
Yeah,
things.
well that's the thing. Like I guarantee you, neither Nickelodeon nor Disney knows who the fuck owns Doug. And honestly, who cares?
Who the
Yeah.
fuck is Doug?
Well, it's like I don't know. They're two different shows that I guess Nickelodeon and Disney both still own the rights to their versions of the show, but it's like I don't know. It's
I
confusing.
wonder if kids these days would like Doug.
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Well, they'd have to like update
He's for
him
a
too, make him
pre-9/11
more
world, really.
modern and give him a widescreen TV.
He is for a pre 9/11 because
Yeah.
he's so fucking anxious. And then when 9/11 happened, everyone was like, "Well,
I have real problems.
everything, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly."
Yeah, all of
Not
Doug's
worried about
problems.
haircuts anymore.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
of Doug's
Yeah.
problems seem so much smaller after.
Yeah.
that.
Oh man.
And his problems are very small.
Mhm.
They
Very
could
small.
probably like age up Doug or something and make it more for like a tween audience, like a
Yeah.
Teen
Make him
Wolf
like
audience.
a bit hot, like I'm a vampire.
Oh,
yeah.
he'd be like, "Oh, Twitter."
I'm scared of Twitter.
Twitter's fun, Doug.
Skeeter would be like, "Yeah."
Yeah, so I don't know. Doug probably not going to come back ever. But that's
Hopefully.
okay. I'm alright with that. Alright, now let's go to Joe Cash. He said, I didn't like Doug back when it was on. I just watched Pokemon.
Thank you.
Alright.
I
Fair
agree.
enough.
I like him.
Good opinion. Good opinion.
Pokemon
I
was a good show.
I don't know.
I didn't watch that either, but it
Man.
might have been better than this.
You know, this is payback because I go to like Pokemon podcasts' YouTube channels, and I say like I didn't like Pokemon back in the day. I just watched Doug.
Doug, yeah.
That's a
then-
pretty mild like insult or troll.
It's not even like an apt comparison.
No.
It's like
No.
there's not a lot of crossover.
It's like saying,
between
I
the two.
really like chocolate cake as opposed to shit.
Yeah. Or like I
Well,
didn't like
even
Doug.
that I
I
can
like
get 'cause it-
gymnastics.
the same color. Like I don't know. I guess they're both animated. They're not even animated in the same country. It
Wait,
doesn't make any sense.
Are you telling me that this guy is dissing us?
I don't know what this
No.
guy is
I
doing.
think he wanted to vent. I think
Yeah.
he was maybe listening to the podcast and
Oh.
was feeling a bit pent up.
Because he
heat
probably
hot.
didn't
I don't think
expect
it's
me
a
to
troll.
appreciate it.
I don't think it's a troll comment. It's
No?
not
Okay.
like because
No,
he obviously
it's-
listened to the pod. He was just giving his 2 cents. He
All
was
right,
like,
good,
I didn't
good,
watch
good.
Doug back then.
Yeah.
I just watched Pokemon.
Yeah, he's not being like he doesn't have any animosity or anything.
You know what? Good
All
for
right.
him. Because
Tell us, yeah,
At least
Yeah,
he
tell
wasn't-
us more.
yeah,
At least he didn't call us gay or insult one of you guys.
yeah,
So, I'm
yeah,
happy
for
about
sure. There
that.
could have been more slurs, but
Yeah, please. Can we have more slurs in the comments section? Like, give us
no
something
one's
to
called
roll
me a
with.
slut yet,
I'm surprised.
and now I don't know if I'm a slut.
No one's called me a slut.
I'm surprised no one's
I've
like
been called a slut.
been like offensive with like just calling people
Yeah,
weird
same
shit.
with-
Yeah, I'm
You
surprised.
I'm
Big
surprised
time.
nobody calls us fags yet.
Yeah, me too.
Please, for the love of God, make us feel alive.
I know, right? Make us feel something. Goddamn.
Okay, are we 20 minutes in?
Yep.
Okay,
20 minutes in. We could have watched a whole episode of Doug.
so let's just keep it brief.
All right. So Doug gets his ears lowered.
Doug needs a haircut.
His hair's too long. Fucking. He used to go to Big Al Sweeney back in Bloatsburg.
Because nobody else could do it like Big Al Sweeney.
Well, he's the only person he let cut his hair.
Yeah.
So he's like, no one else could do it like Big Al Sweeney, but really, he didn't really give anybody else a chance. You know,
Mhm.
Doug just being same old vanilla piece of shit
It's
he is.
stupid. It's a stupid problem. He's like, well, what am I gonna do? Like,
Well,
nobody.
Yeah, well, I was just saying, because you remember how he describes his hair, right? He describes it how he likes it. He likes it neat but kind of messy, normal but not dopey. Like, it's weird. Like the way he describes it
Yeah.
is done in juxtapositions.
Right.
And if you see what he did, what's his name? Big Al?
Yes.
I just called him Mr. Sweeney, but yeah.
Mr.
Big Al
Sweeney.
Sweeney. Well, there's 2 different Mr. Sweeneys.
Spoiler.
Oh.
Hush, hush, hush. He makes Doug has 3 straight hairs, and Sweeney or whatever his
He
name
has
is
8 straight hairs.
makes him look wavy and nice and
Yeah, yeah.
cool. So
Yeah.
he actually does do a really good job.
To make
enough.
Doug cool, he
Yeah.
must. Yeah.
Fair enough.
How
well,
long has he been in Bluffington since this? Like,
8
how long
episodes.
has his 8 episodes?
8 episodes,
Like,
at
does that
least.
translate to like days? Like, is this just a week in Doug?
No,
No,
it
there-
always spans more than one day.
Well, there must have been a long gap in between episodes for his hair to be so long.
Yeah,
because we haven't
that's
seen
it.
his hair in other stages of length.
I don't know if time passes the same in Bluffington.
I like how his hair grows like like a straight afro. Like it grows up,
Yeah, just
Goes
and
high.
like it's like an early 2000s like spiked hair.
yeah. It really doesn't make sense when you think about it because neither of his parents have the same hair as him.
No,
They're just kind of like
They
what
have
is
good
it?
hair.
Yeah, they have like human hair, or at least
Human
like
hair.
it doesn't make any sense. I think Doug's adopted.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that would explain why he's not a serial killer.
Cartoon conspiracy.
Yeah.
Doug is adopted.
done.
That's it.
That's it. Well, so anyways, the whole episode, the whole story here is that he needs to go on this odyssey to find a new barber that will give him the kind of satisfaction that Mr. Sweeney would.
Right.
Yeah. So immediately outside, Mr. Dink. Okay, perfect way to start the
It's in
episode.
the bushes.
Mr. Dink is outside using his one of his state-of-the-art gizmos. It's a state-of-the-art head sculpturer to
Oh, right.
to cut his shrubs into his wife's likeness. And since this is Mr. Dink we're talking about, I'll just specify that by shrubs, I do not mean pubic hair. I mean the lawn stuff. Okay.
Nobody thought you meant pubic hair.
Well, Mr. Dink.
The
so-
lawn stuff.
the lawn stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
However, Dink he clearly makes a pubic hair joke. Did you guys catch that?
I don't think I did.
Wait.
Oh, it's so great.
Repeat it.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Tell us.
So he makes this pubic hair joke when Doug tells him that he's getting a haircut, and Dink replies,
You mean your pubes?
no, he goes, yeah.
How come
Oh,
you
Doug,
missed
your
it?
boobs?
Aren't you a little too young to have pubes?
He is. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. But he goes, yeah, Doug's like, I'm getting a haircut. And Mr. Dink says, which one?
Oh wait, yeah,
Get
I
it?
did notice
Which
that,
one?
yeah.
And like Doug's replies, he just raises an eyebrow, kind of like,
To be fair, it's a pretty good joke.
yeah,
My
no.
mom always
it was-
makes
Wait, how is that a pube joke?
because
Which one?
Which-
the hair
which
on your
haircut?
head or the hair?
No.
on
No,
your
he
mean,
meant
well-
like the length, like the little, because they're like little individual hairs.
And that's a
Come on.
classic bit. My
Yeah,
mom always
yeah.
does that bit.
Yeah.
what, like for
She goes,
pubic
which
hair?
one? Maybe that's what she means. But I think she means like, I'm getting my hair cut. And you don't say hairs, because that would be incorrect.
Mhm.
Well, if it's such
It's an
like
old-timey joke.
If it's such an
Yeah.
old-timey
It's a dad
joke,
joke.
why does like Doug he reacts so peculiarly? Like he raises an eyebrow and
Because
he's
he
like,
doesn't
Yeah.
get it.
he's like,
no, because he doesn't get it at first.
Yeah, he
He's
doesn't
never
get
heard
it.
that
Or
joke.
he's
before.
like,
Really?
moms. But
So you're-
even though Dink's not his mom, but like the same kind of energy.
you're
as that.
you're
Right.
telling me that I'm giving more more credit to Doug than he deserves here?
No.
No.
No. I mean, it probably was a pube joke that none of us picked up on. Do you think Doug has 3 pubes?
He has 8 hairs, 3
Probably,
hairs.
probably. Like, there's 3 really long ones.
I think that's a fairly obvious joke about trimming pubes. Like, Doug he dodges a very sketchy Dink bullet there by answering, well, all of them, because he does make it about the hair like you guys are suggesting. He probably should have thought it. Well played, Doug. Well played.
I guess.
But just imagine being 11 years old and having to deal with that kind of shit. If he was talking about pubes, dealing with that kind of shit from some like sexually frustrated perv neighbor dude who doesn't mind crossing boundary lines like that. Doug could easily have Dink arrested because of that joke. I just think
arrested.
I think it's a bit extreme.
My pubes out.
In a pre-9/11 world, no kid's gonna be like, that guy might want to molest me.
But in the 90s, they would have.
I love how this is going to be like a recurring thing, like a pre-9/11 world.
I feel like I've heard Richard make reference before to that. Yeah, I feel like he frames things.
I always think about it that way. That's such a life-changing moment that we're all alive during.
Yeah, it's certainly bananas.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Bananas.
None of them was bananas.
Yeah.
Until, like,
I've never heard anyone describe 9/11 as bananas.
Until, like, North Korea launches the nuke, like, there's not going to be another moment like that again.
Yeah.
And then never ever again.
And then, because we'll
No
be
more
all
moments.
dead.
Yeah.
No more funny talk.
I am so...
That's when you could leave, Yuri.
So scared of
During the nukes?
When the world ends.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my job as intern, keep things rolling.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, I was going to say as well, I also like how Mrs. Dink shows up, because Mr. Dink makes a fairly good replica of his wife.
In her likeness, yeah.
But like Edward Scissorhands style.
Yeah.
But she doesn't care. Very medicated, as we could probably tell. And she says, some woman get put on a pedestal. I get a planter.
Yeah, I had nothing for that, but that was
it's a good line.
It was cute.
She's funny.
Yeah,
She's funny. She is. She also seems incredibly depressed, but
yeah,
No, she
it's
is.
pretty sad.
I think she's sexually
like I
frustrated.
said, she's highly medicated.
And
Yeah.
there's-
Whenever I picture her in my mind, like when I'm not watching, I always
She's
imagine
taking pills
slanted
right before-
eyes.
Yeah.
And
And she's
Right.
taking pills
drool.
right before
Yeah.
she goes on screen.
She's
Oh, like the actress is like heavily medicated.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
Judy fucking, what's her name? Garland?
Yes.
Judy Garland. Oh,
So
no.
Mr. Dink recommends a place, and that place gave him a terrible haircut.
Cutting edge hair.
Cutting edge.
Yeah. And it has like two horns coming out of his
Isn't
head.
there like a cutting edge haircut
in Toronto?
Or
Probably. That's probably like
the most.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a missed opportunity.
It also says, the business card says, cutting edge, very expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, so Mr. Dink's just been ripping off that hair
Yeah.
company. His catchphrase is just like him quoting like a
Tell
corporate
them-
line.
Tell them Bud Dink sent you. Bud Dink.
Bud Dink.
It sounds like Butt Dink.
Ah!
Yeah.
But wait, I don't get it. What do you mean he's ripping him off? What?
Butt is another word for your ass.
Yeah.
But
There's another word for your ass. I've never heard that.
I don't know ripping off. That was
What do
that
you
was
mean?
coconut buyer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
What do you mean butter? Coconut butter.
Wait, ripping off.
You said
you
he was.
No,
He's
he
been,
stole from the
Stole what?
tagline
From
of the
who?
store. The cutting edge.
does he always say cutting edge, Mr. Dink?
No, he says very expensive.
He says that a lot?
Yeah.
Because he has all this high tech shit.
Yeah,
Right.
but he's just
Now I
quoting a line
understand.
from a
Very
commercial.
expensive.
Very
I don't
expensive.
think it's like a catchphrase so much as it's a fact about some of the things that he has in his life.
But I feel I don't
He
know.
doesn't say it enough to be a catchphrase. You're right.
It's
His
like-
penis.
I don't know. It's like when
It's
you're
totally out of
it's like
context.
when your dad leaves the room. He always says, "I'll be back" or whatever.
Your dad?
For example, my dad doesn't do that.
I'll be
But
back.
somebody's dad does that, guaranteed.
Hey, it's a dad thing.
They always say, "I'll be back" in a Schwarzenegger voice.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, my dad says that.
What's
So
the next thing that happens?
so
Plot points.
Doug's walking down
Skeeter.
the street. Skeeter shows up, about to do the Tour de France because he's in like a whole bike
I
outfit.
thought he's getting a video game.
No, he's like.
Is that a different
no, I'm
episode?
just joking because his whole bike outfit, like he
Oh,
looks like he's
right.
ready to cycle. But he's getting a video game called.
Puppies and
Well, I don't know if I wrote it
puppy
down.
fuckers or something. I forget.
Yeah.
It's
It's
probably
like called
Right.
Canine Space Race, where poodles pilot spaceships, which obviously excites
Sounds
Porkchop.
dumb.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, no, dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
that's
yeah. It
dumb.
says dumb.
And he uses the phrase "getting your ear." You're getting your ears lowered.
Which I've never
And
heard.
Doug's never heard, and fantasized, and he looks in the mirror, and his ears go.
Yeah,
down.
yeah. his
Do you
ears,
think
like,
that's
droop
something
down.
kids in the early 90s actually said? Like
No.
for a week?
No.
I think that's old timey thing.
Well,
I think this episode is written by a 40-year-old man.
yeah.
Just putting that out there.
old timey, like 40s.
Oh, I get why that's the expression though.
I
Yeah.
tried to understand it, like, because your hair is
gets
shorter.
higher.
If your hair is higher, like, say, you see, I have long hair,
Yeah.
so you can't see my ears.
Yeah.
If I got it cut, wouldn't my ears be higher then? Because you'd see more of them?
No.
You don't...
No, it's like...
it's just like a relativity thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's
if
so dumb.
something looks higher
It's
and the
the-
other thing looks lower.
It's the theory of relativity.
Huh?
It's
Its ears equal MC higher. MC hammer?
hammer.
I get it, okay.
Ears equal MC hammer.
So, just to be clear, though, Doug immediately decides not to go to cutting-edge hair.
well,
he's like, fuck that.
I
Expensive.
think, yeah, but
Well, he's like, I don't think...
but Judy arrives.
Yeah, yeah.
And being weird as fuck.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
always. And she takes him to a place. Also, I like how she has. I never thought about this, but her hair is like
Shaved.
Skrillex. She's
Yeah,
Skrillex
she
hair.
has the side
She was
part.
way-
Shiny as hell,
She's
yeah.
way ahead of the
Way
time.
before
What
Skrillex.
yeah, I was going to say that. What do you call that, though?
Skrillex.
Skrillex?
Skrillex.
I made it up.
Skrilly.
Skrillex?
Skrilly.
Side cut.
I
Because
don't know what it's called.
I've never... Oh, okay. So
That
that's
girl
not
in the
a
Hunger Games had a Skrillex haircut.
lot of people, a lot of people have that.
Mhm.
It's popular.
Not where I'm from.
No.
But I came to the city.
You
and
and your
everybody-
small
City
town.
center.
Your small town.
Actually, that's not true. They just opened up a really hipster bar in my hometown.
Oh.
And everybody had their hair shaved there.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty
Neat.
cool. I don't know if I paid the tab.
You could always, Yuri, you could always
Go
do
back
that.
right now and pay the
You
tab.
can, like, your hair is so long, you put some of it up and then shave the side, and then put your hair down, and no one will
Yeah,
notice that
you
it's
could, but
shaved.
please
Because
don't.
that's a thing people do. Yeah, don't.
No,
Don't do
I
that.
when I was a
Honestly,
kid, when I was a little
honestly.
kid, I almost got dreadlocks because I was
What?
like, I was in North
Oh.
Carolina. I
Oh
was
my
5
God.
Why
years
didn't
old.
you?
Yuri with
Because then the
dreadlocks?
barber, I was
Instead of-
5 years old in the barber chair, and the barber leaned in and said, "Oh, okay." It was at a barber shop. I'm asking the barber to give me dreadlocks, and she goes, "Oh, well, okay, I can do that, but I want you to know that I can't go back after I do it." And I said, "Okay, give me a rat tail."
Oh,
You had a rat
cool.
tail?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh, no.
Like a little...
I don't know if I wouldn't have called it a rat tail. I can't remember.
The
I don't know.
Jedi lock,
It was-
like Anakin has.
No. It was just like
Oh.
a rat tail.
Why
Like
would anyone ever do that?
dreadlocks
Is my
is
question.
better,
Like,
yeah.
what about like
A rat
what-
tail?
Yeah, what appealed to you about the rat tail?
being 5.
But even as a 5-year-old, like, what? You want to look like a rat? Is
Well,
that it?
And also, at 5, do you decide what your haircut is?
I was just
My
like,
mom would just,
Apparently.
my mom would
Saying
just put a
shit.
bowl
Yuri
in my
was just
head.
running
Like,
around
yeah.
town doing whatever you
Yeah.
want.
You didn't give a
I
shit.
really was. So Judy takes Skeeter and Doug to, what's the place
Slash, burn, and curl.
Slash-
called? Yes,
Burning Curl,
I
that's
love
it.
that. I love it. I love this place actually.
It
It's very trendy.
reminds me of, any of you guys have been to House of Lords?
No,
You know House of Lords? No one? It's, okay, then never mind. This one.
Is this like a Toronto thing?
It is, well, yeah.
Ugh.
It's in, it's like south of Young and Bloor, and it's exactly like this place.
What's it? Young and Lords?
It's called House of Lords.
House of Lords.
I get my haircut there because it's
Because
dirt
on Young
cheap.
and
It's
Bloor,
dirt cheap.
House of Lords.
House of Lords.
House of Lord.
House of Lords.
If you ever want a cheap haircut, go to House of Lords.
Is there like
Pretty
just
good.
like 50 like lords there?
Yes.
And they're all singing royals at the same time, and it's like a weird echoing
We'll
effect.
never be royals.
Like
that? Is that what you want?
That would be great if
What
that's the
happened to-
first thing you hear. You want.
Guys, what happened to Lord?
She's still around.
Yeah, she's here.
Where?
She went on
Right
South
here.
Park.
I'm seeing her recently.
Lord?
Lord, where are you, Lord?
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 Please come down, Lord.
She's here. Could I just
No.
this place so I really like.
Divulge?
Yeah.
Diverge?
Well,
Divergence.
I just wanted to like explain like how I saw this place because it was such like a really cool place. I liked it better than any of the other barbershops in
Right.
the episode.
Right.
Like a lot of weird hairdos, right?
Mm.
The one girl has been turned into like a giant green Fruit Loop. Her hair has, I mean, like a big giant green Fruit Loop. And then one girl's hair is like a purple half moon, like the
Yeah.
early 90s, man.
One
you know?
girl's getting her phone number.
What do you?
Oh no, her area
No.
code.
Area code?
No, it is the
See,
phone number. Dumb.
I know
Dumb,
what
dumb.
you're talking about. I didn't understand that until just now when you said that. She's having her phone number, like her hair is her phone number. What
Shaken.
I thought was going on was they were shaving off her hair, and for some reason there was like a phone number like
Oh.
on her skull. And I didn't understand, but it's such a weird fucking place, right?
Yeah.
And then
scarring.
yeah, but then Doug imagines the same thing happening to him. I was like, what the hell is going on here? But like then there's like this other dude. His hair looks like 2 horizontal brown carrots or something else more vulgar to the imagination's vocabulary. There's like a phallus-shaped robot jukebox player. It's like blaring Twin Peaksian jazz music. And there's a lot of other weird shit going on everywhere Doug looks. And I kind of like this scene for how culturally stimulating. It's a lot like stepping into Pee-wee's Playhouse during an episode of Full House, you know?
Okay.
Like, that's the kind of
That's
comparison
a great
I made.
analogy.
Yeah, that was a great episode of Full
That's a
House,
good-
by the way.
Yeah. It's like Pee-wee's, you guys been there
Like-
before? Pee-wee's?
Yeah.
Pee-wee's? Well, I've
Fucked
never
up
been
place.
there, but
No, but it
I've
feels like
seen
you've
it on
been there when
TV.
you watch
Pee-wee
it.
never took you there?
No.
See it for yourself, you know?
Pee-wee takes you there.
So he scampers out of that place because he's not like
Because he's
it.
a pussy.
And Skeeter and or no, before they go to the mall, Skeeter recommends a place, I think,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
Today,
Doug-
gone tomorrow.
Yeah, I
yes,
love that.
And
yeah.
before they're
frightening.
walking down the street, and he sees a billboard, and he imagines like after he gets his haircut, he's going to be on this billboard. He's having these
Right.
Really?
grandeur visions of like he's a young budding Hitler. I was like, whoa,
Whoa,
getting a
what?
haircut
What?
is going to make you like a god among men? What is going
Yeah, that's a
on?
little grandiose.
What's
Yeah.
this Hitler thing? Wait, I'm sorry.
I don't
Does
get
he
the
get
Hitler
the same
thing.
haircut as Hitler?
No,
He
I was
sees-
just comparing. He's
he
having
sees-
visions of grandeur.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Oh.
under Photoshop.
No, I mean, I
No,
don't
he's just
remember.
Like, I should get the haircut.
What happens?
That's how he
He's
started.
like, I look good. Kill
Stop,
me.
that's it.
He saw a
Oh,
billboard?
no.
Yeah, he saw a billboard and he imagined himself on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
With his
hilarious.
new haircut from Skeeter's place. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, Skeeter, I'm going to point out now, he promises perfection. Like, he says this place is perfect.
Hmm.
It's important for what I have to say later.
Well, Skeeter and Doug have the same haircut, so I mean,
No, there you go.
Can't believe he sees himself on a billboard.
Yeah,
That he really has
Just
like
because getting a
every
haircut.
personality disorder in
right?
one.
that's what I'm saying.
You know what I
Yes.
mean though? Like
No, yeah,
he's like a cripplingly anxious narcissist.
He really only thinks about himself.
Yeah.
so true though.
So they go to the
What
mall.
do you guys think about other people?
I think about you guys.
Yeah, I kind
Oh.
of think we're not going to see those 3 beautiful faces
Oh
again.
damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
And then-
wasted
and
time.
you want to take that away from us, Yuri.
I wasted time thinking about Doug when I could have been thinking about
About
me.
you.
You know, for hours.
Yeah.
Hours I thought about
Right,
Doug.
right.
you know. So,
So they go to the mall, and of course,
Roger.
Roger's
He
there.
scares the shit out of
Yeah,
Doug
the
with a
balloon.
balloon, which is great. It's just like this random standalone thing, just, hey!
Probably like-
Oh, he pops it.
Yeah.
and Doug's like, ah! Like, he's
Yeah.
really scared.
He probably inflated that balloon just so he could like. I'm gonna find Funnie. I'm gonna pop it right
Well,
next to
He
it.
does it every day.
There was
Further
there was a
we-
clown there that was like selling balloons.
Oh.
I
Wait,
was gonna say
that's
probably
even
walks
more psychic.
around
It's
with a
even
balloon.
more terrifying.
That's
just
what he
buys
does every
the balloon
day.
Just so we can
Yeah,
pop
he
it.
finds a clown.
No.
He
Every
spends
day,
money to bully
Asshole.
just to bully someone.
Oh.
every day, Roger just gets a balloon and goes to like a random location.
Yeah.
Just hopes that Doug will
Scares
come
Doug.
along.
Yeah.
No, it's always Doug
Yeah.
because
Ugh.
that's just beautiful.
I like how Roger calls them, "Hey, Funny Face and Mosquito," because Mosquito is Skeeter's first
Real
name.
name,
That's
yeah.
like if someone said, "Hey, Cameron." I was
Just
like,
polite,
okay,
yeah.
What a burn.
Thanks.
I guess the writer didn't know that.
No, I guess
Didn't know that lore.
Yeah, but if your name was Mosquito, it would be a burn because that's.
It's a fucking
I think he's
weird
pointing
name.
out how stupid of a name.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true.
Like if your name was
Sorry,
like
Mosquito.
Bartholomew.
Your name's cool.
I'm sorry, but this does lead into like something very important for me
Yeah.
with the whole Roger situation going on here.
Yeah.
Your favorite.
I
You
love
Roger.
I really
Love
do
it. You
feel
love
something special for Roger because you just gotta look at this scene, right? It's Doug and Skeeter. They tell Roger that Doug's getting a haircut, and Roger replies, "Well, that ought to be fun to watch."
Yeah.
And so Skeeter, he says, "Hey man, who invited you anyways? Okay, you with me?" And then they walk away from Roger. Now, I don't mean to play devil's advocate here, okay? but I feel really sorry for Roger.
Roger sympathizer.
Yes,
Yuri.
I feel really sorry. You just heard that's what happened. Because I think that his intentions were misunderstood completely. When he says, that'll be fun to watch, he only says it in his typical, that'll be fun to watch, his typical patronizing kind of way, his tone, because that's just how he talks. It's just like vocal fried teenagers. I think his intentions were just an attempt to strengthen his friendship with Doug and Skeeter without trying to sound too desperate or obvious. He was only saying, "Oh, a haircut. Oh, a haircut. Well, that'll be fun to watch."
Oh, come on.
Oh,
I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Because-
Yeah, that's like an extreme
Hold on,
stretch.
Because he really likes these guys. It was what it really was. What it really was.
Yeah.
You have nothing to support this
Yeah,
theory,
you
though.
really don't.
No,
It's contrary
it's
to
all.
everything.
Hey, the proof is in the pudding. Okay.
I've never
What
heard
does
that
that
phrase
mean?
before.
It was a
What
hint.
pudding?
When he says, listen, when he says, "Oh, a haircut, that will be fun to watch," it was really just a hint for them to invite him. Don't you see that?
Okay.
It's
But
at least
I
not
think
possible.
I think
But
that
why
what came out was like, "You're gonna look like an idiot." I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
to see that.
Well,
That's exactly what
because
he
he
meant.
says
And
it in his
that's
tone.
what you're saying, yeah, it's tone. So
It's completely
And I guess
possible.
But
I've
tone
had- yeah.
counts,
It's completely.
right?
I've had that
Doesn't it?
before. I've had that before though, where I say something and someone thinks I'm being sarcastic. But
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm being genuine.
And then they're like, well, you're not coming with us. And
but
yeah.
based on everything else that we know about
Yeah.
Roger, like I don't think it was sarcasm.
I would be curious
I know-
to.
Or I think he was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
I know what you're
Or not
saying.
sarcastic.
but
he was
wanting
being-
to-
I think
like,
everything we
malicious.
know about Roger is just what we think we know
Right,
about Roger.
right. I think if we dubbed his voiceover with like all of the same lines,
Yeah.
but
Right.
said in a sincere
Like
tone
me.
of voice,
Said it like me.
If, yeah, the most
Yeah.
sincere
Yeah, you did the
person I know,
voice.
Yuri, said it. Then it would be interesting to see how we interpreted his character, because his tone of voice is like certainly a big part of what makes him such a douchebag.
Thank you, Lauren. Okay, he can't help the way he talks. Case in point.
Right.
Case
Well,
in point.
I could see that.
Have you ever heard him talk in any other manner?
You're right. He only says things.
But
like
he's
that.
we only ever seen him communicate with Doug
That's not true.
or his friends.
Whose friends?
His friends.
Who?
His gang.
Who?
Yeah,
Roger's
his friends.
gang.
Oh,
His gang.
Roger's gang.
Like the one big
members
eye
of the
guy?
Osage?
Yeah.
Oh, the one
Yeah.
big guy was in the Judy's haircut place.
And
Oh,
talk-
yeah, that's right.
And he talks the same with them. He talks the same even to Patty.
Oh, that's-
Excuse me, mayonnaise.
That's true.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
he's like a creepy weirdo. with
But
him.
picture him.
her.
When would
No.
when would he be the most sincere? Like, what situation would he be in where he'd have to be like
when he wants
diminutive
friends.
and not an asshole?
Oh.
I'm just trying to think of what he'd sound like.
Well,
if he
what
was
about-
like in a job interview and they were like,
Hey.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
What about when they took the hike with the Bluff Scouts? Wasn't he with like the snake and he was scared of the snake?
He was
Yeah,
scared
but
of the
he was-
snake, but
But he was on acid, so
So
that's like
that's-
that's not
irrelevant.
canon. That's
But,
not
but you're
canon.
that's like your most empathetic. So he was like
Mhm.
really. He sounded still though like he does all the time.
But you
Didn't
sense
he?
the fear.
Well, yeah, he was more like I feel like Roger's like
I'm
a very.
scared.
So I'll do a Roger impressions.
To bottom line though,
Yeah.
Skeeter cruelly ditches Roger immediately and leads Doug to hair today, gone tomorrow, and poor Roger, you see him following hesitantly at a distance because he's so desperate for friendship. That's all.
So they go there. They go to Hair Today, Gone Tomorrow.
Yes.
That's right, they do.
And Skeeter tells him to avoid Fluke.
Yeah.
At all
Her
costs, everyone there is great,
Yeah.
but avoid Fluke.
Did anyone else notice the music that was playing when you
It was
walked
the
in?
Beats.
No.
Was it the Beats?
It was the Beats.
I thought it sounded like Blue
It was
Oyster.
Killer Toy Kid.
I thought. Okay.
Well, that you know what they do sound like Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned that.
It sounded like
I
Don't
don't
Fear the
think so.
Reaper, right?
Yeah.
Is that just me?
No.
So
I think they play that a lot on Doug.
so Roger goes there obviously
Mm-hmm.
and to harass him.
And,
as
and,
well.
and what does Skeeter do? Skeeter
Skeeter
ditches him, goes to the video store.
Yeah, I guess so.
And
Well,
Roger
he wanted
goes
to get
in
the
with
He
video
was going
game
there
anyway,
anyways. He
yeah.
just ran into Doug. So that
Okay,
makes sense.
okay, true.
And Patty Mayo is there. Patty Mayonnaise is
What a
there.
coincidence.
What a coincidence.
Mm.
So it turns out that, of course, Doug gets Fluke. Of all people.
Of course.
And she's, like, pretty attractive.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like,
Well,
she's kind of hot.
It's funny you
does
should
that.
say that because I thought
I
that
see
the way she was.
Oh, yeah. Let's look it up.
No, it's okay.
No, let's look
Yeah,
it up.
yeah. Let's see it.
I'm
See a
looking
picture. It's really
You
the
can take it.
more the way she's talking, and she's just so passionate about everything that she's talking about, all the possibilities she could do with Doug's hair. It was almost kind of orgasmic. I don't
Those
know.
are so
Oh.
weird.
I don't want to say orgasmic. I just thought she was kind of attractive.
Yeah,
you know?
she's a pretty.
Well, I
lady.
just said it.
Well, why would you say it?
I tried to
because-
look. Okay,
He's an honest
I'm looking
guy.
it up on my phone on Google Images, and I'm not.
I don't mean I was orgasmic. I felt like she was like getting
Coming.
off on what she was doing.
Ugh. Well, yes. Oh, okay, I would agree with you with that. She
Okay, I'm glad we all agree.
seemed
though,
to
that
really
she's,
like.
that she's.
It's like almost all of
attractive.
his pictures of Doug's.
Oh my god! Why would you not?
Why would they not have?
Why would
Fluke?
they not have Fluke?
Why would they not have Fluke? Why is there not like gross fan art?
She
of
must
Fluke?
have
Yeah,
been
I
a
was gonna
fluke.
say there's gotta be something where like
Yeah, rule
Fluke and
30,
Doug end
rule
up.
34 of the internet.
Dude, not even Rule 34 gives a shit about Doug.
No.
Okay, this
Uh,
blog is pretty good. What is this blog? Doug's Funny Journal.
Wow, this actually
I don't wanna
goes through.
waste too much
Yeah.
time on this. I'll believe you guys.
No.
Just say
Here it
a
is.
thought.
Here it is. Nope, that's not it.
Did they skip over her?
There's no picture of
Oh my
Fluke
gosh,
on the
they
internet.
skip over her.
There's no picture. Well, okay, then
That's not.
there's a
Fluke.
picture of Fruit Loop Girl.
Fruit Loop girl.
But there's not a picture
Her
of
hair's a
Fluke.
totally
Of the
different
hottest
color than
character
the
ever.
The
Fruit
hottest
Loop.
character that's
Doug
graced
so
Doug so
far.
far.
Oh yeah.
No
She's not
picture.
there.
No
but
pictures.
but
Whatever.
with Fluke though, it's another example of like how shitty Skeeter is because, I mean, he, like I said before, he promised.
What? How?
He
That doesn't
promised.
make any sense.
Yes, let me
No,
explain.
he was warning Doug.
He said, "Don't get Fluke."
He
and then he
said-
leaves, and then he ends up getting Fluke.
Did he not
He's trying to
promise?
swoop.
Did he not promise Doug perfection? He said, "You will love this place. It's perfect." And as soon as he drops him off there and ditches him, he's like, "But don't get Fluke." And he ends up getting fucking Fluke. Okay.
Yeah.
You're saying you should have told him prior that like it's not perfect on account of Fluke.
Exactly.
I'm so confused by your like. You think Roger wants to be friends with Doug, but Skeeter, who's best friends with
Yeah.
Doug, is a bad guy.
You're such a
I'm
contrarian,
yeah,
Yuri.
these are opposite ways.
I said
Who's
it
not
before.
letting you into their friend group?
Seriously. Oh my
History,
God.
man.
We need to help you with your tone of voice.
Yuri.
So
But-
she's okay. Sorry,
Okay.
I was gonna keep going, but you know.
Well, I was just gonna say, okay, let's like. I was watching it. And at this point, I was like, Skeeter sucks because of all this. But like, I was willing to give like, let's see where this haircut from Fluke is gonna end up. Like under the care of a barber professionally nicknamed Fluke. I mean, give me a break. This place is not perfect.
Well, I was gonna say as well. You mentioned how Skeeter ditches him.
Yeah.
If you're with a friend
Mhm.
and your friend goes to get a haircut, I've never like waited for a friend.
Well,
Hung out with a friend and he's like, "I'm gonna go get a haircut," and me just
Okay.
hang out while he's getting a haircut.
You know what I do when my friend's getting a haircut?
What?
You know how
Hang
there's
out with
like,
them?
you know how they have the big mirrors in the barber shop and you sit in front of the mirror?
Yeah.
I sit behind my friend and I smile at him.
The whole time?
you have not done this.
I have.
But like Doug and Skeeter weren't even planning on meeting up. They just
No.
met up on the
And-
way to do two different
And
things.
Skeeter was gonna buy. Like Skeeter has an alibi. He wants to go
Yeah.
get the game, and it's like, "Hey, you get the haircut, I'll get the game,
And then we'll meet up again."
We'll meet up afterwards."
Doug
That's
didn't invite
completely
himself. Doug didn't invite himself.
I thought Doug was doing something else. I was getting a haircut.
He was, you know, if you ask me, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but to say that things do eventually work out for Doug in this episode in his quest for a haircut, and he would have gotten there a whole lot faster if he had skipped Skeeter's perfect barbershop. That's all.
Let's move on.
Okay, so Fluke is terrible, and like she just doesn't listen
how
to
was she
Doug at
hired
all.
there?
Yeah, because she says she's not listening. She doesn't give a fuck.
She does her own thing.
She's
Um,
just
It's
hot.
terrible.
That's why they hired.
She wants to give
And a
him
beautiful
yeah,
voice.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she just wants to give him like really fucked up hair. I like how when when she's like, "We'll put some mousse in it," and he imagines mousse,
Moose ears. Moose
hair?
antlers.
Moose antlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's going on and on like, we'll change your entire life. People don't realize hair will
Yeah.
make you a different person.
But he escapes.
Yeah.
And as soon as he escapes, Roger jumps in the chair to take his spot.
Which is really weird on his part.
It reminds
and
me of
actually
the
gives
shoes
credit to your
thing.
theory.
It reminds me of the shoes thing.
This episode is exactly
And,
like the shoes.
Because
Like, to a
after
T.
Doug
Yeah.
doesn't get the shoes, Roger ends up buying the shoes.
Which, okay, in both those circumstances, he's sort of just trying to emulate Doug, I guess.
Yeah.
And that gives
Mhm.
credit
Credit
to Yuri's weird theory.
Weird. Yeah.
I don't believe this. I don't believe
So
it.
he's walking down the street and says, "Oh, this is the worst day ever." What?
It's not really that bad of a day. I mean,
Such a super white.
He's like,
person.
"No haircut," and Patty probably thinks I'm a loser. Well, everyone already thinks you're a loser, Doug.
Yeah, and who
Yeah.
cares what mayonnaise thinks?
And he
She's
he
the worst
bumps-
condiment.
He bumps into
that's not true. Mustard. Anyways,
he bumps into a barber shop pole thing, and the barber offers him a haircut for free. And what was the barber's name again?
Joe Sweeney.
And
Joe
he's like
Sweeney.
his brother.
Doesn't he
or
look
whatever?
exactly the same?
His cousin.
I liked his
twin cousin.
whoever did
Just
the
happened
voice
to be
acting.
barber.
Whoever did the voice acting on it
Yeah.
did a good job. He
Yeah,
had a good
I
voice.
agree.
And he relates to Doug about being new, and
Doug's not even that new, though. At
yeah,
this rate.
that's true.
Such
And
bullshit.
he gives him a free haircut, and he
Because he's his first customer.
Yeah, and he sings a song while doing it. He's like, oh,
How nice.
Yeah, and Doug, he does it, and then Doug kind of fixes it. Boom, perfect. Perfect haircut.
He probably just picked Doug because he knew it would be like an easy haircut to do, to be the first free one.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that it's his cousin. That reminded me. Wait, you guys didn't watch Pokemon growing up, right?
No.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, you did.
Yeah.
Of course.
It reminded me of.
What do you mean, of course I did? Is that a burn?
It's a burn. Fuck you.
It reminds
Fair
me of how when they would go to town, it would always be the same nurse.
Oh yeah, Nurse Joy
and
and
Officer
Jenny. Yes.
And they were always the same person, but they were
Well, not the same person.
Cousins. No, they were cousins.
They're all
They were
related.
The same. They looked the exact same.
And in a later episode, they revealed there's like a cloning facility.
Really? Oh my god.
So sorry, what is
Maybe
this?
there
Is
is. I don't know.
Pokemon?
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, this is
Digimon?
Pokemon.
Digital
Okay.
monsters.
No, Digimon are the champions.
Well, I know they're the champions. I knew that.
Well, they
Digimon are
changed
the
the digital
champions.
champions to save the digital world.
Only in the first season.
Yes, in the second one they go to the real world and they have
No, that's a third season. In the second one,
third season they have to save and defend
Which
the
real
worlds.
world? San Diego.
it's the real
Los
world.
Angeles.
God.
I don't know enough
None
about
of
the
those?
real world.
So
I
he's
haven't
happy
watched
about
it.
his haircut,
Yes.
and he's back. He's writing in his journal about how everyone wanted to make him different, but he realized everyone just has to be who they are, which is a weird realization to have. Just getting a fucking haircut.
I know what he's talking about though, because I really feel the same way. I don't like the idea of completely. I mean, all right, other people can do what they want, but I certainly don't want to identify myself based on my hair. That's why coming from the guy who like grows his hair out, because I haven't been to the barber in like 18 months at
We can
least.
tell.
Yeah, because
Your hair is awesome, for the record.
thank you, but I really don't like the idea of like deciding that I need to change my entire self by getting a haircut, because it's all just stuff on the surface, and I don't care if other people feel that way. It's just for me, it makes me feel insecure to think like that. So
Sorry, to think like what?
to think that I need to get a haircut to internally change myself.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Where people are like new look, new me.
It's
Like,
not
I'm
a
gonna do a
bad
drastic
Literally just
haircut.
identifying yourself through your appearance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a bad
Yeah.
thing, but I think
Yeah,
this is
but
kind of
like-
generally the point that Doug is getting at in a way. He doesn't want to be identified by the way he looks, because let's face it, he doesn't have much to go on there. But yeah,
Big nose.
but he doesn't have much to go the other way either. So
Yeah.
he's a horrible person. He's not a bad person, just
Wow.
horrible.
So Skeeter comes in and tells him to look out the window.
Yeah.
Zip, zip, zip. They go
Yeah,
out the window.
look, Skeeter's a dick, man. Skeeter's a dick.
Why?
Okay,
Pointing
why?
at the insane moose hair on whatever.
Right.
that
Which
guy's
is
name
funny because it was,
Doug was right.
Because the idea we thought before was Doug misinterpreting what moose was, but
nope.
he was
He was
totally right.
completely right.
And he has Roger has this moose hair, and the
Right.
squirrels are teasing him.
Right.
And
I just realized.
And-
why isn't Fluke working at the Judy's hair salon?
Well, she should.
Yeah.
She'd be perfect.
She'd be perfect
Look at
there.
the Fruit Loop girl.
Yeah.
Like that's she'd
Moose
fit
hair
right
and
in.
Fruit Loop, they're two best
Exactly.
styles.
Yeah. Man, maybe I don't know. Maybe Fluke had some trouble in that place, and she had to go to this other crappier
Yeah.
hair salon, but she can't just adjust.
Yeah.
You know?
She's still getting used to it.
Oh man.
I
Poor
said-
Fluke.
I
Maybe
said
she doesn't work there.
Poor. Yeah, she shows up. Yeah.
He was always there,
Yeah.
and they don't know how to
Like,
deal with the
don't
situation.
do.
Don't try
Well,
to get this
you know what?
Well,
so poorly.
She's pretty hot. She brings in
Yeah.
customers. we don't pay her.
let's just let her fuck up somebody's
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a weird moose
Like,
thing.
what, one customer versus how many customers we get a day? It
Wait a
makes
minute.
sense.
I just got the joke. It's like moose your hair.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just got it.
But then the joke fails because it actually happens. Whatever.
Yeah.
But like I said, he's a dick. Like Doug and Skeeter, they cruelly laugh at Roger
Who
because
also cruelly laughs at Doug.
Only
It's
because
Skeeter
he-
all the time.
he only talk. He just sounds like that, man.
Hey,
He just
Yuri,
sounds like he's saying.
Rod, let me
If I
finish.
fully
Let
do-
me finish.
All
Let me
right,
finish.
All right.
Roger's just outside. Fluke completely fucked up his hair, which is really Skeeter's fault when you think about it. That's all. It's Skeeter's fault. It's like he set it up. Fluke knocked it down, and then Skeeter laughs at the results.
You crazy.
Skeeter, I don't know. Skeeter
No.
warned Doug.
If someone
Whatever.
torments you forever and always laughs at you,
Yeah.
and you have the opportunity to laugh at them,
Right.
most people will take that opportunity. It may not be the righteous thing. Some people will take the high road.
It's totally unrighteous. And another
He's
thing.
8.
No, he's not. He's 11.
Okay.
Come on.
But they're not known for their righteousness. 11.
Yeah. 11-year-olds are.
Maybe he's 12 by now. We're halfway through the season.
No, he's not.
He's a man.
He's
That's
a man.
Disney's Doug.
He's got pubes.
12.
4 of them.
Well, we do know. Based off Dink, we
Well,
know.
pubic
he's got
year.
that.
That's what he
Yeah.
said.
This
what
was
they
his
say.
big pube year.
Yeah.
Oh.
His pube beard.
I just
At
think
least 2.
if what you're saying is right, then okay.
Roger.
Guys, we gotta
No.
Awesome.
Like if someone's like laughing at you all the time, and like I think that that Doug and Skeeter need to read between the lines here.
Have you ever enjoyed someone you don't like? Have you ever enjoyed their misfortune?
Yeah.
Well, what I need to ask, why are you asking me that?
Because that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're enjoying. Okay, yes, I have enjoyed someone's misfortune,
go.
but it's always someone
You're just
who
as
I
bad
don't.
as Skeeter and
It's
Doug.
I don't. I only do that to people I don't know. Like,
That's kind of
Is
worse.
that better?
That's kind of worse.
It's debatable.
I kind of think it's kind of worse.
I have a friend who would completely say the same thing, but all the same, I don't like it bothers me when someone I know, more importantly somebody I care about, is having a hard time, and it's just it's impossible for me not to feel compassion.
And in this
for that.
case, it's Roger.
But when it's
So
somebody
Roger's
I don't
like-
know, there's no connection. I'm not going to feel anything, So
No,
it's
I
easy.
know what you mean. Like
them
when you
and
watch.
don't like them. That's the key.
Yeah.
Do you not like anyone?
No. Okay, yeah, you're right. But I don't think I'm fortunate enough to have the opportunity to see someone I don't like have
Right.
misfortune enough,
I do know what you're saying about seeing someone's misfortune that you don't know.
Yeah.
And laugh. Like, that's what America's Funniest Home Videos
Right.
is all about.
Yeah.
Schadenfreude.
Thank you.
Yes, that's what it's called.
What's it called?
Sorry, Schadenfreude. Cut this out. I
Schadenfreude.
parked on the street. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Keeping that in.
Lauren.
Say the
That's
word again.
gold. That's gold.
Schadenfreude.
That is the German word for.
Wait, say it
the
again
pleasure-
because I talked over that.
1, 2, 3.
Schadenfreude.
That is the German word that means the
Guy called Schadenfreude.
happiness
He's
you
like,
get. What? Huh?
Excuse me?
It's my roommate. My German roommate. Yeah.
Hello?
It's the pleasure. It's the word for a German word for the pleasure you get
In others'
in
misfortunes.
in other people's
Others'
misfortunes.
Communist
Good.
German, as you can see from his family on the wall.
Oh,
Yes.
This is my
look
German
all the
accent.
jams.
There's a spider on the wall?
There's a bunch of Germans on the wall.
This
Oh.
is German.
There's a German spices on the walls.
Oh, we need to wrap
Gets
this
how
up.
many-
Yeah. Okay. Well, we are wrapping it up. This is the end of this episode because
Okay.
it's
Scene.
over. Scene. And
Well, our opinion.
But
Sorry.
I had
Gotta-
I had to
oh,
go
Yuri.
back. Okay, Roger jumps in back at the barber shop. Skeeter's gone. This is just like a final thought thing. Okay.
Okay.
Like
All right,
I really
cheers,
think that
Brandon.
in that scene, in Skeeter's absence, and Doug's dark night of the soul as he's sitting in the barber
Right,
seat,
Right.
Roger jumps in with moral support and asks, "What's the matter, Funnie? You look sick." See?
matter, Funnie? You look sick?
Because that's
That's
just how he
how he
talks.
said it.
That's how he talks,
That's
Richard.
how okay,
That's
you know what, Yuri?
Have you ever met anyone whose natural voice is just
It just
constantly
shrill
condescending?
and just like
No.
yeah.
Well, yes, actually, but yeah. Well, what do you mean? Why?
I just don't know anyone who always just naturally
Right.
sounds.
Yeah, like and so like he must just naturally sound like he does.
Wait, how does that follow?
Because he doesn't have any range in his voice. It must just be the way he talks all the time.
or he's just a dick all the time.
Yeah, maybe just an asshole.
Some people
Well,
are dicks all the time.
I
Yeah.
mean, I just
Just ask my ex-wife.
yeah.
Schadenfreude?
But like I said,
That's also
if you listen to what he's saying.
Just your roommate entrance.
Here's Roger raising his concern for Doug while Skeeter has ditched them. Roger's a stand-up guy, especially in that scene.
This
Okay.
is like
He's
conspiracy
a
theories.
stand down guy in my opinion, but
I love
fair
that you
enough.
think that way. It's so crazy. But,
Yeah.
it's
Crazy.
Well, it's like conspiracy theories where all this evidence points one way,
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, but if we look at this one tiny piece of evidence
So deep.
and
Ancient
flip at
Doug
this,
theorists
you
believe.
all are just sheeple. Bah.
Bah, like sheeple.
Wake up,
Yes.
sheeple.
Wake up, sheeple.
Yes, that's what I think. That's what you're saying to us. Wake up,
Wake
sheeple.
up, sheeple.
Sheeple? Like
Yeah,
you guys
we're
being the
sheep.
sheeples?
We're like
Yeah.
sheep.
We're
Well,
sheep people.
We're like sheep people.
That makes me a shepherd.
Yeah.
Ah.
Do you think that's why they're called that?
Sheepherds.
Do you think that's why they're 100% called that? I'm not saying the word wrong.
No, you are saying it right.
Sheepers.
Yeah. That's exactly how it's pronounced.
Okay. Anyone else have anything else to say about the episode before we put our opinions on the table?
Yeah, final thoughts, anybody? Ratings?
Oh, this one I really like the Twin Peaks-esque kind of barbershop place.
Right, when they said everything backwards, but then they reversed it, so it was like they're saying it forwards, so it was like a weird effect. on the
Yeah.
voice.
And there was
Yeah.
that lady with the log.
That's all I know about Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I don't really.
And
I tried watching it, I couldn't really get into it.
oh, I love it.
I
It's,
wish.
it's coming back.
I know, maybe I should. Maybe I should.
Opinion or ratings and opinions.
I didn't like this episode.
Me neither.
Me neither.
There was no. Here's the problem with the episode. It just ended. Like it just like Doug. The story is Doug wants a haircut. He can't find a barbershop like his old barber. He finds someone who's exactly like his old barber.
None of the
Yeah.
shit in between that had to happen.
Nothing matters.
Especially Skeeter's bullshit.
It's just such
but-
an easy like answer to it. It's easy solution to his
Yeah.
problem.
He walks into a barber's
He
bowl.
yes,
That's
he
right.
literally walks.
He walks into what a coincidence. It's stupid. It's dumb.
All Doug had to do in the first place was ask for a friggin' trim. That's all
Yeah.
exactly.
He could do it himself.
Yeah,
His
I
mom
really
probably
thought that's
could do
how
it,
it
yeah.
would end, where he would just
Yeah.
go to a mirror, and go, there. I did it."
He would just like measure it. And, make sure it's the
And that'd be a
exact same
better
height as last time.
story because then it's like him taking his own like
Right.
Yeah.
looks into consideration.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing his own job to self improve himself.
Yeah,
That's a better story.
we should write a
Let's do it.
spec. Yeah.
A Doug
Doug's
spec.
back.
I think we
I
joked
bet
about
you
this
could
before.
still use a Doug's bag.
Didn't we
As
say
far
we were
as,
going
like-
to
With
write a...
animation, it's just like it doesn't
Yeah,
fucking matter.
probably. I probably could.
I give it a Doug out of 10,
Good
and
rating.
I wouldn't
Imagine
watch
whatever.
it.
Yeah,
Doug
imagine
it.
whatever that
Good
is.
rating. I give it 2 Fruit Loop heads.
Oh, you guys should look it up if you can't see it right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're looking at that Fruit
Fruit
Loop
Loop
head.
head. That's all we're staring at.
But you
Yeah.
can't
Really
get Fluke,
funny.
but you can get that Fruit Loop.
Yeah,
Maybe that'll
what
do
a
something
world!
for
What a
you.
world!
Maybe
What
or
a-
die?
Yeah, I think it's die. It looks like it's like
yeah, obviously
it
it's
looks like
Australian.
not
What
even
a dumb
connected.
thought. Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Let's move
Yes.
on. Doug
Doug
on the wild side.
Yeah.
So,
Take a walk on the wild side.
So like we
No,
meet.
I was gonna sing the line that is like the most controversial.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna move. Let's move on.
The one about giving head.
No, the one with the colored girls.
What is the line?
And the crowd
Oh,
girls.
the colored
sing,
girls.
do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Oh, that
What's
works
so
so well.
controversial
That works
about
so well
that?
because
People
everyone.
don't like the term colored girls.
Oh,
It
I
was
thought
the
you.
late 70s.
I thought you said. Oh, of course,
What do you think I said?
of course.
Colored.
Why would I say what's so controversial about
I feel
saying
like
colored
my answer
girls?
Oh,
was the
Yuri,
first,
you and
like-
your small
I-
town.
I thought you said cowboy girls, and
All
the
the
cowboy
cowboy
girls go.
Yeah.
That'd be good if you wanted to sing it for karaoke.
the
A
cowboy
good
girls
change.
go.
Yeah, we should.
No, the cowboy girls thing.
But colored girls would make sense because they're all colored.
I was
It
thinking
was
like,
actually different
colors.
Yeah.
I never knew
To
cowboy
be fair,
was
that's
the
not
lyric.
the most racist Lou Reed lyric.
No.
No.
Oh no.
Far from.
And actually, I don't think it's. Anyways, let's move
It's-
on.
it's, you
Again,
know, it's
race
from-
relations are for off podcast.
It's from the 70s, you know.
So Doug on the wild side.
His grandmother gives
Grandma Opal will visit,
Grandma Opal.
Yeah.
and he wishes she was normal. So he has this fantasy about her being an old lady sitting in a rocking chair, and she pulls out a jar of pickled beets.
beats.
And she knits. This is funny. So she pulls out like this big ball, and she says, she'll knit for them. She'll knit socks, which reminds me of the lady we talked about before and her knitting out of her vagina.
Mrs. Dink?
Oh.
And
No.
Mrs. Dink.
Caroline's.
Well, who? It's not Mrs.
We talked about it in the
Dink.
previous
This
It's like a
is
performance
woman has
artist.
nothing to do with Doug.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So his grandmother gives him a wild jacket.
Yeah, she shows
Yeah.
up and she gives them all stuff. She gives Judy mucklucks. She gives Phil, and Phil, as we've learned, is
Mucklucks.
Doug's dad's name.
Yeah.
And his
Phil the
mom-
serial killer.
His mom's name is something really weird. I
Lily.
wrote it down. No, it's Theta.
Theta?
Theta.
Theta.
He gives
Theater.
Theta.
Theater?
Theta.
Theta.
And she gives them weird caveman costumes that say, I shamrock you.
No, it's I club you.
Oh, is that what it was? I thought it was a shamrock.
I thought it was a
It's like
clover.
the clubs from the car playing
I'm
cards.
just a big dummy.
We see where Judy gets her eccentricity from.
But I like the part where she says, knock yourself out. So she says that to Doug's parents.
Domestic.
And it has a close up of Doug's dad's face, and it proves without a shadow of doubt that he's a serial killer because he's so awkward.
Do tell.
He's so awkward. It's a close up, and he does this weird awkward smile, like to understand emotions. Like, this is what the cue card told me. I should respond to jokes. So that supports your theory, if anything.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a
Do you
doubt.
know who Doug's dad reminds you of? Barry Brostwick from Rocky Horror.
Or Spin City. I'm kidding. Rocky Horror, yeah.
Rocky Horror.
Which person is
Who in
that?
Rocky
Brad.
Brad? Yeah.
As opposed to Janet.
Janet? Brad.
He's the one that sings the best
Rocky.
song. Yeah.
Doug?
Janet?
Doug. Dr. Scott.
Dr. Scott.
Skeeter?
Rocky!
So you're right. Doug gets a pretty dope jacket. I would say we talked about the movie Drive before. Would you say it's Drive-esque? I thought you guys would mention that.
I didn't pay attention, and now that you've made that comparison, I really want to go back and see that again. Because if we're gonna look at Doug and think Gosling, then I don't know.
Well, someone out there,
Doug could use
Doug
that.
and thinks Gosling.
Doug could
Probably.
use that.
Yuri does.
Yeah.
And then you imagine the kids. It's like the fashion police show up because of the jacket, and it's Roger and BB, and they're just like, take that shit off.
Give it up,
I guess the show Fashion Police was already on.
Yeah, but
is that just
90s.
a term before that show?
What?
Yeah,
Fashion Police.
Fashion Police.
It must have.
It must be.
I thought that Joan Rivers coined it.
When would she?
I think she was a big Doug fan.
Well, she's been around forever, so.
Yeah.
Who?
Joan Rivers.
Joan
well,
Rivers.
She's now not around.
Joan Angel.
Well,
Joni.
As soon as you said that, I cringed. But
what's her name? Mabel? Opal.
Opal.
Her whole so I did some math. She would have been whatever. Let's say she's around 70, and it's the 90s. So she would have been a teenager in the 40s ish.
Is this the grandmother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So her whole energy and vibe and jacket and motorcycle were a late into the game identity thing. Like her version of cool was not. That's not what the 40s was about.
Totally.
So she had a weird. I don't know. I wonder what happened in her life that she was
She suddenly
a biker girl.
Her interest came later in her life. Probably when she was 40, 50, and she's like, oh, this is what I'm all about.
You think she was always interested in.
She must have been one of those non-conformist 50s gals. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like how. So Doug's like, oh, I don't want to wear this jacket, and he says he'll wear it as soon as it gets cooler / dark out, and it's Doug, just put it on. Your grandma got you a gift,
asshole.
and you're not going to put it on just to show what it looks like. No one's in the room. No one's in the room.
To be fair, an 11-year-old probably would if they didn't get a gift they might not
That's true,
but
be nice about it. Yeah,
if your grandma gives you a sweater and it may not be a nice sweater, you just put it on in front of wear it for a second.
She needs to learn.
Yeah. You need to learn, Grandma.
Not wearing this shit.
So she suggests they go on a grand tour of Bluffington.
Yes.
Grand tour of Bluffington.
She
By
takes
the way,
pork chop and Doug.
Yeah.
She sounds exactly like Skeeter.
Does she?
Oh, I love that.
Like a Shriller version.
She does.
And Skeeter's not in this episode.
Thank God.
Conspiracy.
Dun dun. Oh, we've never seen them in the same room.
person.
Same voice actor.
Or
That's
real
a conspiracy,
grandmother.
right?
Or real grandmother.
Yeah. And they have to be home at a certain time after their tour of Bluffington, and it's on Doug's
6 o'clock.
shoulders because Opal doesn't believe in watches.
I love it. She doesn't believe in time.
She doesn't believe it. Yeah, exactly.
Can I
I
go
thought
back
for a
really
second she
quickly?
doesn't believe they exist at all. I don't. What's a watch?
The only reason she was given a curfew is not because the parents were like, "Make sure you come home." It's because Doug was like, "Okay, we're going out, but we'll be back in time," as if they give a shit.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Okay, I can come back at
Whatever,
6."
yeah.
But they didn't care at all.
No.
They didn't ask him to come home.
Yeah.
At all. He just was like, his parents just don't care about him at all.
No. Maybe this is why he has all these problems.
Yeah.
He's very neglected.
Right.
If anything,
He goes into these fantasies like fucking Jeffrey Dahmer or something because he was so neglected.
Yes.
Yeah.
That.
I'm just rolling off for you.
I think that's a good point, though, because in this episode, his grandmother really gives him a lot of, I don't know, just takes him under her wing.
Yeah, and she actually
flies away with him.
Yeah, and he's so scared of everything she does in this whole episode. Yeah. They're about to go on the motorcycle. He's like, I don't know about this motorcycle.
That's
instead of being like, yeah, motorcycle.
Yeah. But with the motorcycle gang, like they descend upon like an actual motorcycle gang. One of the members, they all drive up as they're at
Bubba.
Bubba. They're at the stoplight, and it's hilarious. I love it. He goes, "Hey, Granny, that's a nice chopper. Wanna drag?"
Yeah. I
laughed so hard. Yeah.
And she's like, "No, I just want to brag. Here are pictures of my grandkids."
And then he takes out pictures of his kids.
That was so nice.
That was such a.
But sorry, backtrack just for a second. Doug has a fantasy where he's a biker and he has a tattoo on his arm that's a heart, and it says mayonnaise on it. Do you guys remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah.
I know, because I thought, well, I know it's related to Patty,
mistake.
but
really.
what if someone
What
doesn't
if
know
Patty doesn't work out?
Yeah, and if someone doesn't know who Patty is,
Yeah.
and you see a guy that says mayonnaise, that guy must really love mayonnaise.
That's
So
gross.
It is.
You don't want everybody the rest of your life to look at you and think mayonnaise.
Yeah. And they go to this is gonna, I might be calling Yuri the Canadian out on this one. They go to get sushi, and Doug is scared of that too.
You were scared of sushi?
I was with you the first time I ate sushi.
Wait, I don't remember this.
Yuri is not.
I missed your first sushi.
Yuri is not a big fan of sushi.
How could you,
I missed
Lauren?
your first steps and everything.
Oh my gosh, when they go inside, the racist music.
Yeah!
I was going to point that out.
Ding, ding,
It's
dong.
so
Ding, ding, ding.
Because when I
Oh my
rewatched
God.
the episode, maybe I was just like, oh, maybe it wasn't that. Because I read my note, it says kind of racist music. I was like, oh, maybe it was just like,
No,
I'm
it's
like,
very
oh, that's
racist.
racist. But no, it's like,
a caricature of.
Yeah.
actual
Well, right
people.
before they went in, Doug was hesitant because he even like references episode 1. He's like, Honker Burger was enough of an adventure, you know? And I'm thinking, if Honker Burger is the kind of place where you have to talk like an idiot to like order food, I'm reluctant to see what's gonna go happen in a sushi place.
Okay.
And sure enough, I got what I was expecting.
And we continue with the racism when she orders a Takanari Walla Walla Bing Bang.
Oh shit!
So
I
this
didn't
is
notice
true.
that.
man,
Which is raw fish.
Yeah,
Jim
As we all
Jenkins.
which Doug is also afraid to eat raw fish.
Yeah.
Right.
Yuri, I don't think you've eaten raw fish.
No,
in
I
your
haven't.
Sushi.
I haven't eaten that shit.
Bigger pussy than Doug.
Wow, Yuri.
Well,
So
here's the-
you can
yeah.
still
That's why you hate Doug so much, because you see so much of yourself in Doug, and that
Well,
makes
that's
you
the thing.
self-conscious.
You can still
Yuri-
pop that cherry with me. If you want.
Yuri, I would love. Yuri,
That's
I would
okay,
love
pop
to.
enough of your
Honestly,
cherries.
if now that Doug has eaten raw fish, I feel like you can do it, man.
Have you eaten raw fish?
Of course.
Have you eaten raw
Sushi.
fish?
Oh, I love.
Have
raw
you
fish.
eaten raw fish?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Eat raw
because it's sushi.
Let's
That's
just go
a
get
lot
some
of-
Let's
sushi
go big or go.
afterwards.
Let's have
Yeah.
some sashimi.
I think
All-
there's sushi like down the street. from
Sushi
here.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I've
never
only,
been.
yeah,
Yeah, the
Sushi.
problem isn't where to find sushi. I don't think
Yeah.
that's why
No.
Yuri.
But I'm saying right after this, we could just
Let's go.
fucking go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've only tried a dynamite roll
And it was dynamite.
every time.
Yeah.
Every
Oh,
time.
Do
Yuri.
you like not raw fish?
Take the plunge.
Well, what?
Cooked fish? Do you like cooked fish?
What?
That's the word. Do you
What?
like it? Cooked fish? Do
I
you
don't
like
know.
It?
I don't know.
Coach
I
fish?
don't know. What's a
Coach
coach
fish?
fish? Does it coach you? Hey.
That is such a Doug thing that you just did. That's such a Doug fantasy. Like a fish is like, oh, get him, Doug.
Well, he has the fantasy about the crying fish.
Oh, which is so bullshit. I don't understand what his
Oh
thought
yeah,
process is.
that was so dumb.
Wait, so Doug, you have a problem eating like a fish,
But not burger.
but not like a burger?
Yeah,
It's not like
I
you
know,
don't
I
see
see
like
that
a
too.
crying
I
cow
think
every
it's the idea of
time.
a raw fish. I think Doug thought that
It was just gonna be a fish.
they were literally just going to catch a fish,
Like a
still
live
alive,
fish.
and throw it on
Yeah,
his
and you
plate,
have to,
and it would be
like,
flopping
contend with its
around, and you'd
emotions.
have to.
So
yeah.
Doug wouldn't care if they brought the fish over in like a noose or whatever. Like as long
no.
as it's alive,
oh, yeah,
he had a problem
it was,
with it.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
how you kill fish, right?
you know-
You just hang
You wait till they kill themselves and then.
Yeah.
I think that fish was one step away from killing itself. But I thought that moment, what was it? He was one of his hallucinations. It really reflected how dark his mind is and how stupid he is again, because he's imagining a fish, or it could have been anybody. It could have been a person, because it fucking talking fish, begging for its life.
Well, the
which
idea
is
was like it's raw fish.
it was a really raw fish, begging for its life.
Its emotions
Which
were
was
also
dark.
raw.
It was
Yeah.
emotionally driven. It was raw emotions, and it was just a dark moment. Plus, fish don't have tear ducts, so and it was crying, so
Yeah.
he's stupid.
Fun
But-
fact of the day.
But if you're ever worried about trying a certain food, Grandma Opal has some good advice. She says, imagine it's whatever new food. Imagine it's like trying ice cream for the first time.
I remember I remember that line since I was a kid.
Yeah?
Really?
I remember
That's
this
cute.
scene since
Seems
Oh, wow.
sounds like a trick to me.
Young coconut
It's a good
buyer.
trick. It's a
But
good
it
trick.
works.
Does
Yeah.
it? Not to me. Not to me. But...
Well, you're a very picky eater, and
Yeah.
you
You
need to
guys
work
are-
on that.
Afraid of ice cream as children?
No.
No, but it gives you.
Me neither.
No.
What?
It's so
Like,
I
you
was.
Mean, you mean like the people who are
I
on
was.
You were afraid
Maury
of
or
ice cream
whatever, who are
because
afraid of like pickles and stuff like
I'm
that?
sorry, that's a thing?
I don't know if it's on Maury. I
Yeah.
think it's on another show, but it's like, I'm afraid of pickles, and I'm afraid of
people are afraid of pickles.
balloons. And...
Divergent. I saw Maury on an elevator over the trip.
Maury?
No, you
Yeah.
didn't.
Like the results
swear
are
to
in?
God, Maury.
Actual
Wait,
Maury.
And his wife.
Did he?
Wait.
Wait, who
Were
is this?
you-
Maury?
Were you
I
the-
saw Maury
Maury
Povich.
Povich.
Hundo P.
What?
Sorry that I said that.
Did he tell
I'm
you
gonna-
you were the father?
Hundo
Did
P.
you say the Maury is in the elevator?
Is that like a thing that they said? The
He
Maury-
always
Yeah.
goes.
The
The
jury?
results are in.
Oh, the results are in,
Yeah.
and the Maury is in.
The Maury is in.
The elevator.
You are
Fuck, that
in the
was
elevator.
A huge missed opportunity.
Yeah.
No, I did none of that. I just continued talking about whatever I was talking about, such as my resolution to not pick my nose, and then
Other people
I was
could
like,
still.
oh.
Other people could still pick it though, right?
yeah.
Okay, good.
What was your New Year's resolution?
Whatever.
Yeah. Pick
Well,
Laura's nose more.
Yours was
Actually, mine
pick
was-
nose
No,
more.
mine is to not pick my nose in private because it's not like congruent with what I do
Like,
publicly.
Do it in
or
public.
start,
Do it publicly.
public.
Actually, I guess my New Year's resolution was to just like write more, be more
Yeah.
creative,
Right.
do my own shit, start making my own shit.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it so far, and it's been a week, so
Nice.
That's
A
pretty
week's
solid.
a really long time.
Yeah, it's been an amazing year.
So you're good. You can probably
What-
stop now.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
You're good.
What was yours?
To get to the end of Doug.
Season 1, hopefully.
So moving.
Hurry.
And
yeah.
my
Tell us.
my New Year's resolution was to eat more Stouffer's pot roast dinners because I just started eating. Yeah, man.
I thought you were gonna say
That's
eat more,
so
eat more
fucking
food. 'Cause I
attainable,
know
I
you're.
love it.
I know you're. a picky
It's
eater.
realistic.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Because I was explaining this to Jen at New Year's. Like, I don't, she was asking me, and I said the same thing. And I said, because I don't want to set myself up for failure.
Yeah.
And I actually have made a lot of amazing changes in my life recently, which I've told some of you guys. But, like, something realistic that I'm just going to say, ooh, it's a New Year's resolution. I can definitely eat more Stouffer's pot roast. And they're, like, $4.99, about 2 dinners worth. Easy to make, delicious. I recommend them.
That's awesome.
Good to know.
I plug them.
So they see Patty,
The fuck are we?
I
and
don't know. I don't remember anything about that.
Doug says, "It's the girl I love." I mean, no. Once again, giving himself away.
I know.
And she
No.
says you should go tell her. You know, she looks really nice. You should go tell her that.
Yeah.
And he imagine
This is
he
the-
tells her that, and she's like, "Oh, like, does that mean I don't look nice other days?" And you see him shrinking.
Doug
Fucking
shrinking.
mayonnaise.
That is
Women,
such
right?
a real thing.
But what that does, I mean, that
Women.
moment is one of the funniest moments I've ever seen in any Doug episode, and it's that line when the grandmother says, "You should go say she looks nice today," and he's like, "I don't want to say nice today," but he then imagines doing it,
Yeah.
and just the way that he says it in his hallucination, it's like a forced thing that he's saying, and he walks up to her and he's like, "Hello, Patty. You look nice today."
Like a robot.
Yeah, that's what I wrote. I was like a robot, being told
You
to
look
do something.
nice today, sir.
Yeah,
Right, ma'am.
and
That's
then
so
she,
It's a
then
glitch
she,
in the system.
she
But
doesn't
he's like,
that.
"Oh, I can't do that." And then
Yeah.
Grandma Opal says, "I love it when people pay me a compliment."
Yeah.
So she loves getting catcalled, apparently, which is interesting.
yeah.
And-
Doug.
I guess at that age.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, when you're looking like that, hey, she'll take
Yeah.
anything. Then he has another fantasy where he's Elvis and he's singing, and Patty falls in love with him. She literally falls head over heels.
Yes, she does.
And then he tries it. He says,
he
he
goes,
says, "You look nice today."
Patty, you
look nice
you
today."
look nice
And
today.
she says,
Yeah.
"Thank you, Doug."
So he
That's
wasn't doing
nice."
Elvis, he was doing
That's so
Travolta.
What she says is,
No, you wrote it down.
well, sorry, but she goes, "Well, thanks, Doug. What a nice thing to say." And that is the moment when Mayonnaise secretly realized that, all is not well in Doug's head because he just like comes off as like a buffoon, right? But I know that that's what she must be thinking.
No.
Can we start calling these Yuri stretches?
Yeah.
Because there's such stretches of things.
Should've I
They
have my
stretch
own-
out
the
over
Yuri
a very
stretch.
long time.
The Yuri stretch. It's like a, but
Keep going with
This
this
is almost
theory.
longer than the Hateful Eight.
I know because
Oh, man.
Cam, you have said the exact same thing to me whenever not whenever, but many times when I've given you a compliment about the way you look or that you're just a nice guy.
Thanks.
And you definitely replied, "Thanks. What a nice thing to say." And you know that I'm a dark person too, like dark soul and everything. So I assume that she must have been thinking the same thing about Doug.
I have so many questions.
You start.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you compliment Cam,
Yeah.
what is going on in your head?
Yeah.
I see Cam walking down the hallway. I'm talking like when we were at school.
Yeah.
And he was
I know actually exactly what you're
sipping
talking
some
about.
water, and I said, I just felt like the need, that it wasn't a need, it was like an urge that had to be met. I said, Cam, like went out of my way and walked over and said, Cam, I just wanted to say, like, what did I say? You're the coolest guy in the class, or something like that.
I remember you said that,
Those
and
are
I was
such
just like,
pure intentions.
and I was like, wow, Yuri, like, thank you so much.
I was leaving, I think. Or maybe I was just getting there and you were leaving. One or the other. I just had to say it.
Yeah, and then later, I remember you said, "Hey, sorry if that was weird for me to say."
Oh my
God.
And I said, Yuri, that was the nicest thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
That made my whole day, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know
think-
you were self-conscious about it because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, did I come across as
Well,
weird?
it
So
was
you
one of the
were kinda
things
anxious.
when I went home and thought about it later. It wasn't immediately. Immediately, I felt good because you seemed like it didn't seem to put you off when I said it. But then I thought about it later. It's like, but he didn't seem like, but that was a normal thing for me to say. Like I caught you off guard in a way, I think, because you told me later like you were kind of having like a bummed out day, and then I said that, and it kind of turned everything around for you.
It
And,
did.
yeah.
Hmm.
And I know I've given you at least one other compliment like that before,
Nice.
but yeah, you said, "Oh, it was such a nice thing to say," and I just loved like how optimistic and friendly you were about it because I was feeling kind of insecure later on. So yeah, it's a nice thing for you to say. What a nice thing to say.
Cameron,
But he
Yuri
just said that
moments.
earnestly. It wasn't like, oh, poor Yuri who just complimented me. I better fix the
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Well,
It was like,
when
I
I was
loved that. Thank you.
It did.
when
yeah.
I was feeling insecure, I was thinking maybe he was just saying that because he's really good with people, but he was secretly feeling like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
No.
He wasn't, so then obviously
Now I know.
mayonnaise wasn't
Yeah,
either.
I think mayonnaise likes Doug.
Okay.
I think
People
she does.
like nice compliments.
Yeah.
That wasn't a cat call. It wasn't like aggressive. It was
Yeah.
It's just
polite.
a
And it
polite
was
thing
with
to
someone.
knows
and
her
it was,
when I
yeah,
put
he
her
knows. Yeah,
face.
he knows her. So it's not like just some guy being like,
Yeah.
"Hey,
You look nice today.
No.
Nice, dude.
I didn't mean it. I
Nice."
didn't mean it like that when I said that she realizes that Doug's a dark, twisted soul. I meant that he just comes off as like a weirdo the way that he says it. But now I'm like going
Yeah.
against what I was saying, how we shouldn't just judge Roger because of the way that he talks.
There you go.
That's what I'm doing to Doug here. But you guys are saying that you could just hate on Roger because he always sounds like an asshole. So now I'm hating on Doug
Oh.
Doug because he said something.
because he
weird.
sounds like a weirdo. Yeah.
Okay.
When he, yeah.
No one's saying that guy's not a weirdo.
Okay. Good. Well, we're
Guy's
kind of on
fucking
the same
a
page.
weirdo.
What else happens this episode?
That was a nice
eventually.
little. That was a nice little Cam Yuri moment.
Life's a
That
picnic.
was beautiful.
Somebody says life's
We
a
should have a
picnic.
segment where Yuri just compliments Cam a couple times.
I like
And Cam
that.
says,
I
thank
can
you.
make a list. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That's beautiful.
They leave, so they're about to leave, and it's 5:55, so they race home. Doug misses dinner because
No, he doesn't miss dinner.
he misses
It was-
dessert
he goes up to his room
because he.
to masturbate.
Yeah.
So
Beat
that
off.
one too.
To beat
Okay,
off.
that's so funny.
That's where I go.
I was
That's
gonna
where I
say that, but I was like, I don't know how this will play in the room, but that's exactly what I thought.
I can't believe all of your minds went there. Mine didn't. I feel so pure. That's amazing.
I wrote Doug misses dinner apparently because he's in his room, probably jerking it.
Beating off.
And then Nope trying on the jacket and talking to himself in the mirror with an Elvis voice.
What's he jerking off to? Just the thought of mayonnaise thanking him?
Yeah.
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 You guys
Probably.
are fucking weird.
What?
You
What?
guys are gross.
That's pure.
Are you
Oh,
telling me
no.
someone has said thank you
no.
and you've never jerked off to
Hot
that?
dog.
That's
Oh, I
weird.
know.
I thought the whole
Not
scene
yet.
was kind of
Oh.
like It kind of reminded me of a scene from American Pie or something, just the way that it could have
Because
went.
there was a pie.
Well, yeah, no, it's like
Anytime you see a pie, you're just like, oh, remember American Pie?
After like at Christmas dinner, Grandma's like, "Hey, apple pie, anybody? Grandma, just like American Pie, you know, the dick in the pie." But after family dinner, Doug's mother suggests that Grandma should, quote unquote, take Doug a piece of pie. He's in his room. Just the way that, which sounds.
Oh, come on!
It sounds like it's going to be
implying incestual, like.
No.
Okay.
I'm thinking like I say American Pie, like a combination of yes, a dick in the pie, but also the scene like when she's like, "I'm coming," and her dad almost walks in, but he turns around. You know that scene?
And what?
Yep.
Sorry,
In American Pie. Yeah. When the dad almost walks in
Oh.
on his daughter getting cunnilingus from her boyfriend. So and inside the room, of course, like Grandma hears Doug beating off all the way down the hallway, pretending he's Elvis, right? Like who hasn't done that? And Doug's grandma says, "That's my grandson."
I just read she just say that's my grandson.
Yeah.
My grandson.
She's probably a pretty like sexually. She's probably very in touch with herself.
Yeah.
She's definitely
Yes.
and a sexually active senior.
For
Which
sure.
is the
She's
thing.
probably
you know
beating
that
up
in
to
senior homes?
mayonnaise thanking Doug.
In senior homes,
'Cause
that's a thing.
They're always hooking up.
Well, I don't think an old person who drives a motorcycle isn't very. I mean, will not have a lot of sex. You know what I
For
mean?
sure, it's
Yeah.
your peak as a woman. I
especially
think,
on the motorcycle.
Mm.
There was like an STD problem in
That's what I was about to say.
Florida because all these
Old folks
elderly people
were banging.
who were pre-AIDS didn't wear condoms or like weren't protecting themselves,
Whoops.
so they were just fucking like bunnies.
Yeah,
and
there's an episode of
getting
Parks and Rec
STDs.
about
Oh
that.
shit! Oh, an episode of what?
Parks and Rec. Where
Oh, yeah.
they have a big seminar for the seniors about using like condoms. It's really funny episode. So Grandma leaves. Sorry, I'm just continuing on. Leaves to go rafting on the Noodle River.
Ooh, you know what that means.
Ooh, so she asked them to join, but they're all like, "Oh, we can't make it."
They all have different excuses, even though they're all in the same family. They're like, we're going to the doctor.
Yeah.
We're going out of town.
Yeah.
Even Doug doesn't want to go.
No, well, Doug never says, I don't think, but
Yeah.
he just, yeah.
I
And
probably don't want to go.
they share a nice little moment with her and Doug, which I thought was nice.
Mhm.
She calls him Wild Man. And
Wow.
see you
That
later,
is
Wild
very
Man.
cute.
And she drives away, and I thought of that. Remember that episode in Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the character Country Mac, played by Sean William Scott?
Yeah,
Who was like the cool version of Mac, but he was from the country.
As opposed
I thought he was other Mac.
What?
As opposed to season 5.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like one of the
Yeah.
latest seasons.
But it's funny because he's actually really cool, and all the stuff Mac wants to be, like knowing karate and doing all the stuff, Country Mac is actually really good at. And then, but at the end of the episode, he drives off on his motorcycle, and it just, as he's driving, it just tips over and he falls, and it turns out he dies right after.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
And I thought of that at the end of this episode.
I wonder if we'll ever see her again.
Yeah.
Maybe that happened.
The grandma just
Yeah.
died. Oh,
That would be great, like a silhouette off into the
That's
sunset.
great.
Just-
I love that.
So that was my Always Sunny
fantastic.
moment in that
Oh
episode.
my god. Does she ever come back?
I don't know.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, and
Sounds like you're hiding something.
Doug
I
starts,
don't know. I
Doug
haven't
starts
seen a lot
having
of Doug.
more confidence in himself, and he wants to look for adventure. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pork Chop, imagine they're riding off
Riding
in the
off in the
sunset.
sunset together.
Motorcycles.
How cute.
Okay.
What's the theme?
I'm
I'm just saying. I only
don't
said it like that because I had my jaw resting on my
Facing your
hand.
fears. Facing
Facing your fears. This
Okay.
whole thing has a character arc where
Yes.
he's.
There actually
slowly
is a
getting to-
character arc
yeah.
from this episode to
Is
the
there?
next episode.
Is
I
there?
think.
Oh,
Okay,
those are
here's what I
two
think
separate
happened.
episodes.
I know it's going to be hard because listeners maybe are going to have to wait a week.
Mm.
But just listen up.
Okay.
Opal takes him on all these adventures and forces him to do things he wouldn't previously have done.
Right.
And then in the next episode, he goes fishing. Okay? And his whole like bit is I'm not going to go fishing. It's boring. And then Dink is like, no, it's adventurous. And he's like, okay, now I'll go. Like now all of a sudden he expects adventure
Interesting,
out of
yeah.
his endeavors.
Yeah.
And he didn't
This
previously.
is a big changing. This is a mid-season
true.
change.
I really think that he was
That's
like, he's like, I know that I
true.
like a bit of excitement now. Raw fish.
Right,
I've just
right.
ate raw fish. Now I'll catch raw
Yeah.
fish. You know, like
I went
he
on a
just knows
motorcycle,
he's
I ate
growing.
raw fish, and I complimented a girl.
He's
Now I'm a new
growing.
person.
I don't know.
That's true.
At
No.
11 years old, those are two
I guess they are.
massive milestones.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
complimenting someone you like and eating raw fish that's it.
I have
No,
to say, in a
definitely.
way, he was ahead of me than when I was 11. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's ahead of me now. So
I still haven't complimented
Yeah, probably had a few times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't had sushi in a while, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did we do it?
We did it.
Let's do the group hug we always do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pat. Oh. And
Here we go, the
and
group
back
hug
up.
time. Here we go, time for hugs. And love, it's a
And
fun
stop.
Hammer time. You fart. That's great.
Yeah, Cam.
Throwing me under the bus.
Uh,
Oh, Yuri.
All right. Final thoughts. Final ratings. Yuri, go.
Uh,
Out of 5.
you know, like, I wrote up a big thing about...
Out of 5.
Oh, out of 5? Okay. 1.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Laura.
Ooh, Doug.
Okay. Fair enough.
Opal. Grandma Opal.
Opal.
Because she was really like the driving force of this episode.
Well,
Yeah.
literally, she drove the motorcycle.
And she forced him to do a bunch of things he didn't want to do.
Yeah. Like, oh.
That was what they did. They really did.
I didn't think of it that way, but
That's
Sorry.
her grandson.
Oh.
Auga.
I give it a.
I don't know why that
I give
was
this episode a
sandwich.
5. It's scary.
You like it that much?
Really?
Okay, not maybe 5 by Doug's
Be
standards.
true to yourself. Yeah.
yeah,
5 by Doug's standards. This is a good episode.
it
of
is a
Doug.
good
You know,
episode of Doug. I agree.
It's interesting you would give a 5. Because, I mean, I don't mean...
By Doug's standards, not comparing this to like.
Let me just say that when I was thinking about possibly leaving this podcast, I mean, when I first thought about maybe saying that on the podcast, part of me was like, well, I don't want to like offend anybody, and also I know that it was your idea to start this podcast, and you picked fucking Doug, and then I thought
choice. I
That's a
feel.
good
it made
I
me.
feel like it's a good choice.
It made, it made
How
me.
many other Doug podcasts are there out there?
Oh,
Can't be
exactly.
more than 25.
I don't know.
You gotta go for uncharted territory, Yuri.
It's true. It's true.
Nobody wants another Game of Thrones podcast.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
a Game of Thrones
I
podcast.
think there's.
I'm leaving.
They made Game of Thrones into a show? What?
Game of what?
They
But
took that factual history and turned it into a
Wait,
book.
are you telling me there's a spin-off of Game of Homes? You
Oh
guys
my
are
god!
wild.
All right.
I was just gonna say that I realized
That
I
would
didn't.
only play for Toronto crowds. Oh, people in
shit.
production.
I didn't really know like how much you actually like the show. Like I realized that when I was trying to decide whether or not, because I didn't want to insult you.
It's a child. You know, it's a childhood show to me. I definitely have a lot of nostalgic memories of it. I don't think it's perfect. It's obviously not perfect.
Yeah.
But I do have like an affinity for it.
Is
yeah.
it one of your favorite childhood shows?
Oh, absolutely.
There are definitely
Ooh.
movies and shows that
Okay.
I purposely don't watch because I know I won't like them as much as I did when I was a child.
Right.
Smart.
I was talking to somebody at the New Year's party about a similar conversation. They were saying like I had to watch something that I hadn't seen since I was a kid and I hated it.
Yeah.
It was horrible. And I said, well, you know what? I can see what you mean, but you got to keep trying because you got to at least put a couple decades in between the last time you saw it and now. Because I just watched Ernest Saves Christmas the other day and I loved it. And then this person says to me, I got to be honest with you, I'm not even 2 decades old. So,
Oh.
Yeah.
Twist.
yeah.
I was. My roommate was like, "Oh, what are you going to do?" And I said, "I'm going to record the Doug podcast." And she's like, "You do a Doug podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've told you about 1,000 times."
Kuttner. Shout outs to Kuttner.
Shout out to Kuttner. She was like, "Oh, I love Doug as a kid," and then I was watching it, and she could overhear it, and she was just like, "Oh, that's so annoying."
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I'm annoying. Yeah.
All right. So
Wrapping up.
that's it. That's the episode, guys.
Woo. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to everything.
this
love that turns around.
My love
One of the
One
beaches was
goodbye.
you are my only
Goodbye.
life.
You say goodbye.
I say
Goodbye.
fuck no.